Nice. Got it. And this one.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear brand ambassadors, and welcome to today's webinar. We are on Globally Changing Lives, Deep Dive, and today is Tuesday, February, what's today's date again?
21st.
Tuesday, February 21st, and we are so honored to have you with us on this Onpassive platform. Welcome once more, and at this stage, we're passing it over to Dr. Derek to play our welcome tune so we can be better prepared to listen to the rest of the webinar. Thank you.
Onpassive, deep dive, and the internet.
Onpassive. Onpassive, the future of Internet.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Onpassive, stand clear the closing doors, please. Thank you very much, Dr. Derek. And thank you, Sister Lerato Shadare Prosperity, for that beautiful melody. We truly appreciate it. And now we're moving to the next item on our agenda. And this is the mindset. And it's going to be by our one and only Dr. T. Ford. And the mindset today, I know she's an author of 4 books, and one of them is You've Got the One to Get the One. And she is an international transformational speaker. Dr. T is a life coach. She's also an empowerment trainer, TV talk show host, and a published author of 4 books. She's also an editor and chief of Discovering You magazine. And she's going to talk to us about the mindset, which is affected by 2 things. Physical, which is what our CEO is trying to help us to get through Onpassive. And the mindset is also affected by the mental mindset, which Dr. T is going to provide us with tonight. At this stage, I'm passing the microphone over to Dr. Tnternet Ford. Over to you, my queen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, brand ambassadors, kings and queens of Onpassive. Welcome to a wonderful webinar. And I really do appreciate, again, the opportunity to speak to you all. Now, you see my background. I'm still with the love theme here. So everybody else is doing something different, but I'm still with the love theme because this is February. And as Dr. Derek said before, this is the love month. So how can I tell you, last week we talked about you got to be the one to get the one. So you all worked on being your best you. So now I'm going to talk to you about how do you recognize when you have the one. So when the one comes into your life, what are the factors that you need to consider when choosing your life partner? Okay, so we're going to talk about 12 of them. Now, we already know there's more than 12 factors, but for the sake of the webinar and time, we're going to just cover 12 that I think that are very important. Okay, again, choosing a mate is probably the most important decision that you're going to make besides having a child or buying a home. Okay, but that's probably at the top of the list. Number 1, who am I going to spend the rest of my life with? And when you consider that, I believe that if you take the time out and think about what you're getting into and look at certain factors to determine if this is a person that you should be with, I think you won't go wrong. Now, I don't want to be prejudiced like we're not talking to the married people because the married people have already done what they've done. But if you are married, and I go through these factors, you may say to yourself, hey, I did that. And I'm with my dreamboat. You know, I'm with the love of my life. And if that's your story, hallelujah, I'm happy for you. But those of us who are single and waiting to get that ideal person, I want to share with you some factors that you want to look at to consider before you make that big leap. Okay, so let's start. Number 1, the family background. Family background. Now, I know all of you have heard it said, when you marry someone, not only do you marry that person, you marry their family. And that's true. I'm talking about the immediate family, mama, daddy, grandmama, great-grand, siblings, uncles, aunties, okay? When you marry someone, not only are you marrying them, you're marrying them, their family. So you want to find out, what are their core values? What's their religion? Do they have a religion? Do they even serve God? Those things are important. You know, what is their behavior? What are their traditions? You know, do they get along with each other? If you're a man, you want to look at a woman's relationship with her father if he's still living. How does she get along with her siblings? And vice versa. How does she treat her mother? These are things you want to look at before you make that leap. Okay. And also, too, this is important too. This is important to me. Do they like pets? Are they a pet family? Are they pet people who cannot, they despise animals? They don't like cats, they don't like dogs. If you are a pet lover, do not get involved with that person. I promise you'll be sorry. Okay? All right. The second factor, and this is very, very important too. Know if they have any health issues. Now, I don't want to come across as being prejudiced, because I know right now there are a lot of people who have a lot of insidious diseases. Some of them they can't help. It may be hereditary. Some of them are their own faults. But before you get married to anyone, you need to find out, what are their health issues. Because, you know, you may marry someone that might have heart disease in their family. And maybe nobody lived past 45 or 50. And you might be in your early 30s or something like that. Take that into consideration. Think about if you can marry somebody who may be a diabetic and they're not taking care of themselves. All right. Okay, let me just say this, because this is very important. I don't want to come across as saying that you cannot marry someone with health issues, because we don't know. A lot of times, you know, things creep up on it. Our bodies are it's a very unique creation that God made. And sometimes our bodies just, you know, they just go haywire for whatever reason it may be. You may be taking good care of yourself. You may be eating right, exercising, but sometimes things just happen, like cancer. You know, cancer is one of those diseases that you might be doing everything right, but it just happens. So I'm not saying that you don't marry someone because they may have cancer in their family or diabetes, but you do want to take that into consideration, because if you're going with your eyes wide open, you won't be caught off guard. Okay, that's something to really consider. What is the person's health issues? If they have family history with heart problems, diabetes, cancer. Among African Americans, we have sickle cell anemia. That's very, very prominent among African American people. So you want to take those things into consideration, especially if you think about having children. The third one, make sure the person is hardworking. No one wants to marry a lazy person. You're not lazy, so why would you want to marry somebody that's lazy? Okay? You don't want to marry someone that has a lack of ambition, or they have no sense of purpose. Okay, or they don't have any goals. They don't want to work. When you met them, they're not working, they're not trying to work. Here you are, you got your Onpassive money coming into your wallet, you're doing well, and you fell in love with a bum. Okay, vice versa. Or men, you fall in love with a woman who's a gold digger. All she can do is look pretty and sit home and wait on you to come home so you can take her out and take care of her. You don't want to do that. You want to stay away from that. So you want to make sure that you don't get involved with somebody that's lazy. That's the third one. Fourth one, choose someone you can rely on. I don't really have to expound upon that, because you already know what that means, self-explanatory. Choose somebody that you can rely on. Know that that person is going to be in your corner. Okay, when the going gets tough, are they going to run and get lost? Are they going to be are they going to have longevity when there are hard times, or if you get sick or something like that? Are they going to run away, or are they going to stay in there with you while you're going through your trauma, and vice versa? You want to be the kind of person that's in there for them. So choose someone that you can rely on. The fifth one, you should try to find someone that's able to forgive. Make sure they have the ability to forgive. There are so many people in the world who just have hardened hearts. They've been through a lot of trials and tribulations, and their hearts are hardened. And the least little thing sets them off. And they are not able to forgive. They don't have a forgiving heart. So you want to make sure that you get involved with someone that has a soft heart, someone that's forgiving, and someone that can forgive, someone that you can forgive them and they have a forgiving heart. You don't want to get involved with someone that's carrying weight, that's carrying baggage, where they've been so hurt that they don't want to forgive. Okay, so you want to stay clear of those kind of things. Again, we're just talking about factors that you want to look at, because these things are important, again, when you're trying to find someone that's going to be your life partner. The sixth item, they should be of good character. Now, that should go without saying. But how many people do you know have gotten involved with people who may be controlling, they're manipulative, they're liars, they're unfaithful, they're users. These are characters that you do not want to be involved with. Okay, there's so many people because you're attracted to the physical, you find yourself just ignoring the things that God is showing you. He's showing you the sure signs, but you ignore them because there's such a physical attraction. You want to get involved with someone that has a good character. That's the 6th item. The 7th one, check out their level of maturity. Now, just because they're older doesn't mean they're mature. You might find a younger person who's mature. You want somebody that knows how to handle conflict. You want someone that has common sense. You want somebody that knows how to manage their lives and they don't have to involve a third party to get through something. You want somebody that knows how to love you and respect you as an individual. You want a person that's mature. Again, it has nothing to do with age. It has to do with experience and how they interpret that experience and how they've come through that experience. So marry somebody that is mature. The 8th one, and this is so funny. This is really beautiful, and I hope that you all take this to heart. Find someone that has a sense of humor. I think that when you have a sense of humor, it just makes the marriage or your relationship so much fun. I believe that marriage should be fun. You should be able to laugh at each other. You should be able to tell bad jokes and the other one laughs just because the joke is just so bad. It makes them laugh. You know what I'm saying? And you want to have a person that has that sense of humor. So marry someone or look for someone that has that sense of humor. That's very, very important. The 9th one, sexual attraction. How many times, and this is something women, I really want to say this is so important. Oftentimes, we as women are very guilty of this. We marry a man that we're not sexually attractive to. We marry a man because we want him to take care of us. A lot of times, women, we're taught, a lot of girls are taught as little girls, find a man that can take care of you. He might be an older man. He may be a man that's not really attractive, but you marry him because you can manipulate him, because you know that he's so in love with you that he'll give you anything. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you get involved with someone that you want to marry, make sure there's a physical sexual attraction. That's very, very important. You don't want to be involved with somebody that you cannot be intimate with. Okay. And also, too, going back to the health issue, I've seen this happen in so many relationships. Women have married men, and because they are good providers, they will get involved with this man and they will not give him sex. They close their legs. I know I'm being graphic with all adults. They close their legs. This is the true fact. Men control the money and women control the sex. So if you're in a relationship where there's that manipulation going on, I don't give you money unless you give me sex, or they're thinking like that, you do not want to get involved. You may say, well, I am practicing abstinence. Good, be celibate. But you need to talk about these things. You need to talk about what you all would desire in the marriage bed. You need to talk about those things. Don't go into a marriage and you realize that this person does not enjoy sex. This person does not intend to be intimate with you because they have another alternative. These are things you need to talk about. These are things you should know before going into the relationship. Number 10, choose someone who likes you. You may say, well, that goes without saying. No, choose someone who likes you. You know, we always talk about love. Love is it can be fleeting. We know that love is important in a relationship, but you want to live with someone that you like. Because when times get hard or you're not very attractive to that person, when you gain the weight, you know, when you don't always say things right, when you don't always feel right, is that person going to still like you? Okay, it's not just about the love. It's about, I like you. I remember years ago, I attended a wedding, and the minister who officiated the wedding, she said a very profound thing to the groom and the bride. She said, it's not about who you can live with. It's about who you cannot live without. Okay, and that comes when you like that person. Just like it's a friendship. It's that phileo love. You know, it's that unconditional love where it's like, I like you just because you're you. Even when you make a mistake, I still like you. Okay, even when you say the wrong things, I still like you. I'm not going to run away from the marriage just because you did something wrong or you made a mistake. So make sure you marry someone who you like and they like you. The number 11, there should be a mutual respect between the two of you. You do not want to get involved with somebody who does not respect you as a man, you do not want to get involved with someone that does not respect you as a woman. There's so many people who are narcissistic. They think they're in control. They think that they just have this dominant personality, and they do not treat you with respect. And I think that when a person is like that, they deliberately look for someone that they can control and they can manipulate. And they don't respect you the way they talk to you, the way they make you feel. A person that respects you and honors you, they're going to build you up. Even when you don't do things right, they're going to point out that you may have done something wrong, but they're going to always do it tenderly. Their game is to build you up and make you feel like you're the best. They're going to help you be your best person, a person that respects and honors you. So make sure that you get with someone that mutually respects you. And then number 12, the last one is make sure that they are God-fearing. That should have been number 1, but I always bring it home with that one, because if you get involved with someone that does not serve God, oftentimes this is how it goes. Instead of you bringing them up to where you are, they bring you down. I don't know why that happens, but a person who's ungodly, a person who does not serve God, it seems like they have a way of swaying you the other way. You want to meet somebody that's going to build you up, someone that's going to make you have a closer relationship with God, because you're working on that together. You should be praying together. You should be fasting together. You should be going to a place of worship together. This person should always be undergirding you spiritually and things like that. So make sure this person is God-fearing. And that's the last one, number 12. So ladies and gentlemen, again, if you are looking for Mr. Right or Miss Right, make sure, again, that you're going to be the one to get the one. And when you take care of yourself and be the best you want to start looking at different factors to consider before you go out there and get involved with someone new. Okay, thank you so much. And that's all there is. There ain't no more.
Wow, Dr. T. It sounds like the 12 commandments of love.
Okay.
I mean, if I may put it bluntly that way, that sounds like the 12th commandment of love. And that is an education that you will not be able to find in any bookstore directly without coming through an author like you. We truly appreciate that. I mean, I'm just listening to you go through all those things. I have my notebook here, by the way,
Okay.
making notes so I could let my kids know that this is from a specialist. Oh,
Somebody has their hand up.
Dr. Derek.
Dr. Patience.
I'm trying to get him to unmute.
Oh.
Yes, Dr. Derek.
Sure. What?
You raised your hand.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying something still, so okay.
I was just responding to Dr. T, and I saw your hand up, so I thought maybe you needed something. That's why I stopped.
No, man, finish your thought.
Thank you. I was just telling you, Dr. T, that I took notes. February is the love month, and I'm very fortunate to be with my girls, and I'm going to share this with them because I feel that it's dear to heart as a parent. And I truly appreciate you bringing it during this February love month. It's very well appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. At this point, we're going to move to the next section of the webinar. And I can see the person who is right here to the left of my screen, or is it my right, whatever it is. His name is Dr. Derek Clark. He's this one person who stands up every day, helps with anything and everything. And the beautiful backdrops, even the one from the lovely week of Lovers Week that we celebrated in this forum, it's still glowing right there behind Dr. T. Dr. Derek designs all this. In the split of a moment, he will create all these things for us. Do you know how much people who do these things, how much they make? And he's doing it for us for free. He's such a selfless person. Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. We honor you. We appreciate you, your dedication, not just to all the forums you go to, but overall to humanity. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Derek.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Peace, blessings, and enough love. I see a few hands up. But let me just ask a question because, oh my goodness, Dr. T, that presentation was off the chain, off the wall. Awesome. I think I need to package it and send it out. And send it out to some people, including myself, of course, myself first. But I need to listen that over and over again, man, because that is awesome. I need some family life directors and so on to get that presentation, because that presentation, Dr. T, was awesome.
Okay,
but one question.
Okay. What's the question, Dr. Derek?
In all my little life living on the face of the earth, I have never heard that of someone don't want sex. Never heard of that before. Honestly speaking, I mean, because, they might not want sex with that partner, and so that's where how infidelity comes in. And so much so that people even have sex with themselves, and other animals and other things and what have you. But this is the first time hearing that persons don't want to have sex at all, without medical reasons. I mean, I'm not talking about a person who have a medical condition, with a mental medical condition, or a physical medical condition. We're talking about a normal, straightforward person. I've never heard of that before. I don't know if you can elaborate on that scenario. Why would a person don't want to have sex?
Well, I'm referring to the marriage bed, but I know couples personally. Okay, I know personally couples who have been married for over 20 years, who have not been sexually intimate, and they went into the marriage like that. I'm pretty sure that the man wanted to be intimate, but the lady defrauded them and came up with reasons why she didn't want to be intimate with them. Okay, and this goes on all the time. So maybe she had got with another partner. She had been sexually active. But with this marriage, they were not sexually active.
Okay, so you're specifically talking with that person,
yes,
not in general.
Yes, with that person.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
All right. Okay, clarity there. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for asking that question, because I'm pretty sure unless they have a low libido, maybe it might be physical reasons, it might be psychological, maybe they may have been raped. You know what I'm saying? Anything, but so many people go into a marriage and they defraud their partners because they realize that they're not attractive. That's why I said that one of the factors is you must be physically attracted to the person you marry. And it's not fair to them if you get married to them and you don't want to be intimate with them. That I mean, even the word of God, I believe that, and this may be a high number to some of you, but 80% of the marriage should be intimacy. You know what I'm saying? When you're not, the word of God tells you, don't forsake that. If you go apart for a season, if she's on her menstrual cycle, or if you're fasting or something, then you go away and you do that. But after that, if you're married, come together quickly. Do not defraud each other. That's physical pleasure. But a lot of women and men don't find it pleasurable for whatever it may be. They just get married for what they can get out of it. And it's not sex. I'm just being honest. It's not sex. I have some other hands up.
Thank you, Dr. T. Dr. Derek, can we go ahead and take the hands that are up? Dr. Patience?
Oh boy.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Patience.
Hello and good evening.
Good evening.
You see, I'm seeing stuffy. I know some points sound like controversial, but it actually happens, Dr. Derek. There are a lot of people like that, not bothered. And nothing is wrong with them. Not just bothered. They don't have that drive. But that's not why I put my hand up. Dr. T, I was watching on YouTube first on my big screen because I had one or two things that was running behind the scene here with the kids, and wow, you were coming across beautifully. I remind me of a sermon that I attended. When I went to that sermon, the bishop, pastor, or whatever they want to call themselves, was talking about marriage, right? And say, well, you just said it, we're getting married for the wrong reason. And he said he does a lot of marriage counseling, and you see two couples will come, and he said, okay, you both decide to get married. Why the problem now? Why separate? Oh, when I met baby had curve. Now baby doesn't have curve anymore. So, and the wife would say that, oh, and brother just want to be in the crib. He doesn't want to work. You met him, he was a lazy guy. He wasn't working. You want him to work now, you cannot change somebody. Okay? So, and if you met baby having a curve, and that baby has had so many babies and doesn't have the curve anymore, were you getting married to that lady because of the curve? So it is very important topic, and we will take it lightly because we find ourselves put a lot of young people and kids and children in situations they did not call for because of our stupidity, because we did not do our homework, because we go too lost, because that's not love. A lot of people think love is lost and make this wrong decision. And then within a short time, somebody put 1 or 2 pounds here, you say, she's not attracted anymore, or he's not attractive anymore, or he's lazy. He wasn't working before. Mm-hmm. He was a lazy dude. You got married to him. What were you thinking? Thinking that you change him? Never you get married to change anybody. So that is a very important topic for a love month. Thank you, because a lot of us just jump in. We don't even analyze that. Oh, I don't want your mother to come to my house. This woman raised her daughter or her son for years. Put something, she cannot come and visit. So you're getting married to the family. So you have to study the family as well. That's very important. So that the points were on point. As my sister said, it was 12 what? Commandment of relationship. I said you were just killing it. So thank you. Every day you come here, I decided to follow YouTube. I said, no, I have to join because I'm not, you can hear my voice. Sorry guys, I'll disappoint today. I'm still very stuffy, but I just had to come in because a lot of people, especially the youngsters today, get married for the wrong reason. Sometimes people get married because they want to feel societal pressure. So you're 30, you're not married yet, they go for societal pressure. Some people it's for family pressure. Oh, how come you're not married? So they do it for family pressure. Well, a lot of us get married for wrong reason. As you say, sometimes it's because the person can provide for me. Come on now. You should provide for yourself, and the two of you can come down and work together and provide for each other. Support each other. Yeah. Make decisions together. So yes. I don't know where you're getting this point, but it was on point. Thank you. Thank you for making us to think. Dr. B, it doesn't need to be an Onpassive, okay? Look for somebody that has the right attributes. That's an inside joke between me and Dr. Benny, so I'll stop here. But this was 12 important points. I'm going to watch this video recorded over and over again. I'm going to hopefully work with Dr. Derek to just cut that just 12 points and send it to my daughters. Just so it's not too long. If the video is too long, they will not watch it. Just that part that you spoke. Dr. Derek, I will just need that part that she spoke so I can send it to my daughters and sisters and nieces and nephews. Because it goes to both sides. Boys, don't get married to lazy women and think they will change because you think they're pretty or lost in some physical definition. And girls do the same. Thank you. Very on point today. Thanks for feeding us every day. I don't know how many pages your research was today.
Let's see, 4. 4 pages. 4 pages.
So, Dr. Patience, I wasn't the only one who was taking notes of the 12 commandments to share with my girls. I'm glad I'm not the only one. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Derek will do just that part, because you know this
Yeah,
young
because
generation.
anything more than 3-5 minutes, they will tell you that
Yes.
I don't have time for that rubbish. So short and sweet.
Yes. So this is very important, Dr. Derek. We say we want to uplift humanity. This is one of them. Because a lot of humanity problem comes across from failed marriages. That's the truth.
And they are all the girls you're talking about and nieces, they're all brand ambassadors as well. So this will come in really handy.
Yeah, a lot of humanity problem comes across through failed marriages. Children find themselves, their safe haven is taken out, messed up. So thanks. This is on point on the Love Month. Thank you, Dr. Derek, for bringing all this love story on Love Month.
Thank you, sis. Queen Theda, how are you, ma'am?
Hi, Debbie. Hi, everyone.
Good
Dr.
evening.
Floyd, you are on point again. Thanks for, enlightening us with these points. But you have, what should I say now? You have spoiled us, because normally you will do a recap. So if we miss a point, we could get it done. And I have missed one of them. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if it is point 3 or 4, but if you could just recap on the first 4.
Sure, no problem. No problem. Number 1 is look at the family background.
Right.
Number 2 is know if they have any health issues. That's very important. Number 3, make sure they are hardworking. You don't want to marry a lazy person.
Okay.
Number 4, choose someone you can rely on. You got to be able to count on that person.
Yes. Okay. I missed the health issue.
Okay.
What can you, number 5 that you mentioned about someone who can forgive and have a soft heart? How would you identify that aspect?
Well, I believe if you are dating someone, my mother used to always tell me that teeth and tongue fall out. So, every day is not going to be the best day. At some point, if you are spending quality time with this person, you're going to have some obstacles. You're going to have some disagreements. And, you may hit a sore spot. You might be having a conversation and you may bring up something that's in that person's past, or that might be sensitive for them. And then in fact, you find them drawing away from you and they're harboring unforgiveness. Or you might be in a situation where, let's say something like an old flame may come back into your life, okay? And it's innocent with you because you're not trying to do anything, but that person thinks that you're cheating on them. And instead of them trying to find out what's actually going on, they want to end the relationship. They don't have a heart to find out what's going on, because they're holding unforgiveness, probably from a past relationship that they had before that they were very hurt. Yeah. Because like I said, we're not perfect people. That's why you take the time to get to know a person, and also too, let me just say this too. Everything I said, we should always involve God. Let God show you. I always stand on Proverbs 3, 4, and 5, 3, 5, and 6, I'm sorry, to trust God and to lean not unto your own understanding, but in all of thy ways acknowledge him. Acknowledge him and let him direct your path. If you include God in your choosing, he will show you all of these areas. Yeah. Because he's concerned about both of you, not just one or the other. He's concerned about the man just as much as concerned about the woman. When you get married, the woman, she adorns herself, she has on her gown, and everybody comes to see the bride. But you know what? The groom is important too, because what is Jesus Christ? He relates to the groom, right? And we, the church, are the bride. So who's important? Both are, not just one or the other. So my thing is this: allow God to be part of your choosing. Ask God to show you this person. And again, there may not be one person. God would send people into your life that would be the best person for you, because you have a choice. He never takes away your choices. But what he'll do is present someone that may be best suited for you. That might be a couple of people that you may meet along the way, but he lets you choose. But now if you ask him to choose, he will choose for you. He will choose for you, but you got to involve him in the process. Don't leave him out, because again, this is one of the most important decisions that you'll make. And then being a part of Onpassive, like Dr. Benny says, she's going to marry somebody who's from Onpassive. That'd be great because you all have the same mindset and got the same money. That'd be great. But for those of you who do not, make sure you include God in your decision process and you will not go wrong. I promise you.
Thank you very much. I really like this point 5 because it's not only in marital relationship that we need to forgive.
Yes.
In your own personal friendship with
Yes.
your friends too.
Yes.
And, I went through that just recently. A good
Yes.
friend said something, and even though what I said wasn't anything outrageous, it was on point, but she just didn't accept my saying sorry for what I did. So
Right.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. I understand. Yes.
Thank you, Queen Feather.
Okay.
Queen Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
Good evening to
evening.
all the
How-
grand ambassadors, Queen Debbie, Dr. Benny, Dr. Derek. Thank you. Awesome, Dr. T. Awesome. Every point you made is all those points are needed when we need to choose the right person or the right mate. And I just want to say that at this time, when you're choosing your mate, it's not to get intimate, because then you're shortening your opportunity to meet the right person. So
Yes.
I think dating is very important. I remember a lot of us didn't give ourselves an opportunity to date. Someone said they like us, we went along with the program, and then we was left short-handed. So dating is very, very important, and that's very important for the young and for the old.
Yes.
Because we was brought up on one mindset. You find a guy, you get married, and it goes like that, and it doesn't go that way.
Mhm.
It's not that easy. And like Dr. G said, all these 12, you pray about them with God, and you just be specific of the person that you want, and he will reveal the person unto you. It might be not so clear, but you will get a vision, and you keep on praying about it and talking to him about it and thanking him ahead of time for the husband that he's going to send to you already,
Right.
that he's preparing both of you.
Yes.
So, like she said, all these points was amazing. All is great. All is good, because every last one of them is needed when choosing the right mate. Thank you so much, Dr. T, for bringing it to the table all the time. Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Queen
You're
Jackie.
very welcome. Yes, indeed, my dear. Thank you, Queen.
You're welcome. Brand Ambassador Ricky Runner, how are you?
Oh, fine, thank you, sister.
Welcome
Fine, thank
from
you.
Canada,
Thank
Toronto.
you.
I see you have your banner up with you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Warm greetings. Well, I shouldn't say warm, but cold greetings from Toronto. We're expecting a snowstorm in the next 24 hours, so my plan is to stay indoors. I must say, Mrs. Ford's presentation was, well, I don't need to say it. It has been said many times, and I know behind me there will be a lot of people saying the same thing. What I would like to say to her is that your point that you made is something that, now that things have gotten a lot tougher during the COVID, we need to be very careful and very focused to what you just mentioned, because a lot of people are grabbing a companion because of this, because of that, and they are not looking for the good quality. They think they are picking the right choices, but they are not picking the right choices until it becomes a problem. And you made 2 points that really stick most out to me, is finding the right person to laugh with, even if the joke isn't a good joke. And if you're going to criticize your partner, make sure it is done with love and with the good intention. Because if you don't have a partner that, as you said, have your back, then you're basically pushing the stone up the hill yourself. They are not pushing it with you. You're feeling the burden. As the old saying goes, it's like you're walking on eggshells. And I always say this to my friends, even though that you might be married to a person, living with a person, dating a person, that person is still an individual.
Yes.
And that person, you have to always see them as an individual so that you can remember their opinion, their selection, their choice is still valid, even though you might not become a husband and wife, even though you decide, well, let's take it to the next level. And it is so heartwarming to hear a woman saying this. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we are equal sex, but I find too often you hear the men saying it, not enough from a woman's perspective. And a lot of time, a woman, again, don't get me wrong here. I would prefer to have a woman president right now or prime minister than a man, because we men have too many egos, as you said. Too many men want to be in control. A relationship is not about control. A relationship is about two people working to one common goal. It's not about who controls what. It's not a matter of if he makes more or I make more, or he has a Mercedes-Benz, I want a Mercedes-Benz. That's not a relationship. You're just trying to compete with each other. That's all you're doing. So we really need to take a look at this both from young people to us, the older folks, or should I say the more mature, experienced people, and really look at our own relationship, because I messed up my relationships too. I make the wrong choices. But because I have a good partner, because I have a good friend, because I have a good companion, again, friend, don't see the person as your wife or your fiance. See them as a friend, because that's who they are to you. They are your best friend. They are your best friend, your darkest secret, when you feel down, when you feel as if you just want the world to end. That friend who is your wife, who is your partner, can turn everything around in a dime by just saying, be still, be calm, as the Lord said to the waves when he came out from the boat. That friend is telling you, be still, be calm. And that's the voice that you will quicker listen to. That's the voice that's going to walk you through the toughest moments of your life. So I know, as I said, a lot of people are going to say praise and thanks, but we need more women like yourself to come out there and say it to us. And we men really need to stand up and listen to our female partners, because trust me, a man think with one head, a woman think with many heads. Okay? A man think with one head, but a woman think with many. And most women today has a deeper insight to a relationship than a man. Most women today have a deeper insight into a relationship than a man. So that being said, Sister Ford, thank you very much once again for an excellent presentation. I, as a mature gentleman, sees a lot of value in what you said. Dr. Patience asked to get a point form. I too would like to get that point form, because I wouldn't mind having that point form in my home to remind me from time to time, even though I may falter, I still have a good partner. I still have a good friend. I have someone who has my back. I have someone who has my back, and I can get along with the family. So I thank you very much for your time and your excellent presentation this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Dr. T. Brand Ambassador Ricky Runner, you nailed it. You, besides my brother, my brother, my sibling, my younger brother, I've never heard anyone speak so passionate with respect to women, but I just did. Thank you. I know Dr. Derek did the same thing in a different way. I'm not comparing because, you know, on a topic like this, a lot of people shy away from it. A lot of men do not speak. And the fact that you were able to give your input is really, it's fulfilling to me as a woman to hear that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And Dr. Benny, I see your hand is up.
You bet. I am here. Jesus
Welcome,
Christ.
sis.
Thank you. Anyway, the first thing, I know, sorry that I'm late, but Dr. T, I love you. You're good. You're good. Wait, something that Brother Ricky, Rona, hey, brother, I just wish please, African men, don't get mad at me. Brother Ricky, I just wish my African men can behave or say what you're saying. If they can act the way you are saying it, our African men, to tell the truth, I don't think there'll be divorces. That's the way I look at it. Please forgive me, African men. Don't get mad at me because I will get madder. No. Thank you, Brother Ricky. I'm not going to lie to you. Anyway, this point that Dr. T said, look at the family background. You bet. Why not? If your background is not good, why do you expect me? Just because you may be up there and you think you are all and all. This thing about a man and a woman, I know Dr. P said I should, that I'm different. Oh yes, Dr. P, please. You don't really understand. But anyway, Brother Ricky, thank you. Thank you. Now, I wish all the men can get all the information too, the 12 steps. All African men get it. Because we need, I know I would like to respect a married man, my own husband, right? But most of the time, the men, just because they pay that bride price, they want to just beat a woman any way they want to because they have that hands to touch a woman. Oh yes, that's what is happening. And that is why I always said, women, get ready, prepare yourself. Most of the time I say, women, go to school. Young girls, please forgive me, let me just start. Young girls, go to school, better of yourself. Because sometimes when men married a younger woman, despite the fact that, let's say in a poor family, they said, oh, I paid your bride price. So they maltreat these women. And the unfortunate thing is that some of these women, they go and marry men because the men have money, right? That is why I said, women, young girls, go to school, educate yourself. Don't let any man touch you with your hands. The Bible said that when you married, you are one, right? So if I'm your wife, why will you take your hands to beat me? It means you are beating yourself, right? Come on now. Oh, no. Hold on. Brother, Sister Jackie, you said dating is very important. You said that you don't really have to sleep with the woman before getting married, right? There is a problem. I love that. No. I love that. But with the African men, they don't like it. And that is why I stand you see, I stand like this. It's not going to happen. That is why I am on Passivian. I have the dollars, even though I haven't started receiving it yet, but I know I am going to receive the apples. So let's work together as a family, right? Let's love one another. Like Dr. T said, you have to be God-fearing, right? Because some of these men that they claim they're God-fearing, they go to church, but they're not doing their work. No. You want me to talk? You want me to talk? African men? Forgive me that I am African. No, anyway, it's not only African men. Sorry. It's 90%. I always say 90%, but the men, they get mad at me because women keep quiet. Women, don't be quiet. Stand firm. Do you guys understand me? I'm single, but it's not that I'm begging to have one. No, I'm not. If you're not the right person, Dr. P, I will not. I always call Dr. P. I know that brother Shaggy want to say something. Go ahead, brother Shaggy. Say it. I will argue.
How are you?
Who, me?
First, I want to apologize to my sister for not being here on time to hear the whole presentation. But the little glimpse I'm getting, I'm telling myself, I think we must consider ourselves extremely blessed to be a part of an organization like this, where we go all over, you know, everything that matters to life. I mean, we train people on how to operate computer efficiently, even though they're not, you know, computer people. And then they teach people on, I remember the first time, maybe a year ago, that I stumbled into this meeting, and they were talking about water and how important to drink water and how important to do your bathroom necessarily twice a day minimum. It was so powerful that it's helped. And now today we're talking about marriage. That's the part of that I glimpsed. I just want to thank you for this presentation, for reminding us. I'll look at the video to get a full glimpse of that presentation that you gave us today. So thank you so much. Sister Benny, with all respect.
You're welcome.
I thought you were going to argue with me.
No, I wasn't arguing with you at all.
Oh, then I love you.
Argue with you at all. You know,
Thank
I just
you,
want to say, you know, the African man you're talking about. Most of the women in this place are African women. They're happily married. Their husband is here. If you see Dr. John or Dr. Pat, you wouldn't know who's husband, who's wife.
No,
So
when it comes to Dr. Pat and the husband,
African
they're the
men
best.
didn't, I don't know. You know, which African man you're talking about. But it's okay. I know there are such part of it. But what she said that was so important was to put God in the relationship. Because it takes two to tango. If you are a married person and you married, we are proud in one way or the other. But there's a Bible injunction that says women submit to your wife, and then man submit to
Jesus.
No. Even to your wife. Woman submit to your husband, husband submit to your wife. It's mutual. But you see, if you have a wife that's proudful, right? That's a different ball game. And then you would think it's the husband, unless he has wisdom, he will not be able to manage it. But if he has wisdom of God, he will still manage it. Because we see a prophet that married a prostitute in the Bible, and we saw how he managed it. Okay. So God, putting God in it, she mentioned, is so powerful. Okay. And saying you must love each other. Oh. There must be something that attracts you to each other. Otherwise, you know, maybe the woman was figure 8, and then she has 3 kids. She's no more figure 8. What are you gonna do for another figure 8? No, it was your mutual agreement that changed, you know, our stature after having children. You keep loving her even more than when she was figure 8. So again, I don't say the African man you're talking about. I can't recall an African man beating their wife. Maybe in my own concentric circles. But again, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But going back to the presentation, the part I'm getting, the response I'm getting, and our response just show me how powerful it is and how lucky we are to be hearing this type of things in a business meeting. You don't go to the business meeting and talk about family issues, but we're doing Onpassive. And that's what makes this meeting, you know, this webinar so powerful, that those who are not part of it, who are saying, when are we launching? When are we launching? They're missing everything. They're missing not just when the money comes, to have the money, but how would they enjoy the money without knowing all these things that we are sharing. Dr. Derek and everybody that put this together, God bless you. Sorry for interrupting.
No, excuse me. Brother Shaggy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Or let's say African men, forgive me. 90% of the African men, oh yes. Oh yes, I'm not. See, if I say, okay, like 10%, Dr. Pat and the husband, oh, they're good. They're good because I see them. Do you understand? I see them. And the way you are responding to me, I respect you too. Look, it is not all the men. A lot of them don't respect their wives. And please forgive me too. Some of the wives still don't respect their husbands. Oh yes, I can stand front. You know, like if you're a counselor and a husband comes and complain, a wife come and complain, right? Sometimes it's, as a counselor, you need to listen on both sides. Do not side anybody. I will not side anybody. To tell the truth, I am against when a woman maltreats a husband. Please forgive me. And also, I'm also against when I see the man maltreating the woman. If I find out that the woman is correct, please, I do respect men. There is no doubt about it. But this thing that I really like the part that they said, when you are dating a boy or dating a man, it is not a must that you have to sleep with that person. But that is why I say African men. Please forgive me. That's why I say African men. All right, for that part. But I do, like I said, I expect all our man, like a man and a woman, to respect each other because we are all human beings, because God created all of us in his image. We're supposed to respect one another, but it doesn't work that way. But I'm going to stand firm, and I am going to stand, especially for my women, but I'll tell them that you have to respect that man as well, right? Cook for the person, cook for that man. But before the man married too, the man has to learn how to cook, because if the woman is sick or if the man is sick, what happens? Brother Ricky, am I right? Yeah, man, how? But anyway, I want to thank Dr. Derek. Dr. Derek, I'm thanking you for bringing Dr. T, for bringing Sister Jackie also, because Onpassive is not only to make the dollars, it's for all of us to learn what is happening in our life. Just like, okay, how are you going to manage your money when the apples start falling? How are you going to treat your husband when things start happening? Because quote unquote, people always take that money to be up there, right? I'm like this, you see? No. And materialistic stuff is not good, because the Bible says that. I tried, I have seen it. So I know that I have a lot to say, but I just want to really thank you, Dr. Derek. Thank you. Thank you for bringing all our ladies here to come and teach us, because that $97, or is it $102? Okay, we have already eaten all the money. It has been exhausted, because this teaching that we're learning from all these things here, Dr. Derek, merci beaucoup, merci. And I'm speaking by French. Thank you.
Pas de quoi, chérie Coco.
Proceed,
Wow.
Sister Debbie.
Wow. Sister P and Brother Pastor Shaggy, FYI, cheating is not only in the continent of Africa, it's universal. And spousal abuse is universal.
Means that.
So just in case you were unaware, it's even more so in the what they call the so-called developed countries. It's rampant there because of the proximity and the easiness for people to do hanky-panky. And even the kids, it's difficult to train and do whatever. So all we can say is pray and hope that the parents bring them up the right way when they're young. And by the time they get to young adults and preteens, young adults and all that, they know the right path and they follow it, because it's not in one place. I'm saying that from experience. I have had to settle so many cases, depending on which part of the world I'm in. They'll come to my house and say, okay, this is what is going through. And it's not Africans only. So I just want to add that to it. And again, to thank Dr. T for bringing this today to the forum. So that I rest my case. Over to you, Sister Dr. P.
Thank my sister. I never said that anything was African, though. I did not.
No, I said Dr. B.
Okay. Because
you know, B and P sound the same.
I want to ask my brothers on the panel or on the Zoom today. There's a saying that keeps going around that men are polygamous in nature. I don't know, and some of them use that as a cock-off to do nonsense. All the rubbish statement. Is that true? I don't know, I'm not a man. And Sister Debbie, you're right there. Bring up a child so that in a way that the grow, they shouldn't depart from it. It can be challenging sometimes, but we only have to hope and pray. But can somebody answer my question? A man in the house, what is this nonsense statement that men are polygamous in nature? Where does it come from? And what is the truth behind it? Or is it just a way for them to sit behind some phrase and do nonsense?
When the adage that men are polygamous in nature doesn't mean the attitude of polygamy. It means the attitude of managing a home, managing a society, managing an environment. Let me give an example. When you look at resources in the home, your primary concern is you and your children as a woman, right? A man thinks beyond that home. So we honor our women to do that so they can make sure that we take their attention to the children. But a man would think about even people are not part of the family. Would think about the single woman in the church and wants to help with the child, with the son, with our daughter, to see how they can provide some, moral, mental support. So mentally, we're made to operate not just a narrow focus of me, my wife, my children. Women are opposite. From my understanding, most of the time they're focused on the children and on the family. And they do it so well. They do it so well that we are proud of that. I'm in the church, and every woman in the church who's married or single refer to me in a way as daddy or quote and unquote husband. I'm not having an affair with them. But you see now, it looks like I'm playing a role, a father figure. For those of them who are single, even a man to help. They bring the car to the church and I say, after the service, I call a few men, go down, go and check the oil change. Go and do this. Go and let them know. Somebody said, my car is flashing this light. Okay. When the service is over, I call brother Eli, go look down and check and let me know, that pastor, the oil was really down. Okay. There's oil in the garage. They put oil, they top it up, and things that the Lord would have done for them, the man would have done for them, but wasn't done. So in those environments, sometimes they say a man. Well, since I've had it, it hasn't been said in terms of, sleeping around. No, that's been said in terms of being responsible. To not just say my wife and that's it. I don't care about anybody else.
Pastor, they use it in terms of sleeping around. That's why
I never had it in that forum. Maybe because I only deal with church people.
Of course.
I never had it in that forum. I had the forum of they're responsible to other women in that environment, in that church, in that society, like a dad, like a father, like the single ones that we have to arrange, programs for their kids to go to places. We take those kids to places and we just operate as if, they have a husband there. No, but I never really had it played out in terms of, a man, so you can have more than one wife. Maybe I just hasn't been in those circles, just to answer your question on that. But if they're saying, that they are made to be polygamy, that's trouble. Here's where it's trouble. if you read the book of Deuteronomy and Exodus and Leviticus, you will find out that, especially in African society, right, what brought witchcraft is polygamy. Polygamy was the root of most of the evil. It was the root of murder in the Bible, and it's the root of a lot of things. Because the moment you have a second wife in an African traditional setting, and they have children, the youngest wife and the oldest wife now begin to compete whose children will have the heritage, the inheritance will be favored. And they can go to any length to do that. So I don't see how it's reasonable to be polygamous, but I guess the society at that time, from the time of even Abraham, that it was expected, not only did Mother Sarah give her, I don't want to go on and on, a maid to her, even her children, they gave their maid and all that, and we see how it just, polluted the whole environment. So I wasn't thinking that it was said in terms of, I have a right to be polygamous, because men are made for polygamy, men are made to do what now? I haven't ever seen it in that light, if I answer your question right. Any other men who want to answer that, please feel free.
Okay.
Any men besides Brother Shaggy and Dr. Derek is up. Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Let me kind of bring a few perspective. First of all, this is not a problem in the universe, just to bring a little clarity. It's a problem in this world, and the universe is much bigger than this world. We are the only world among other worlds that is in the universe that has subjected ourselves to sin. All right. And if you are into Bible, then Hebrew 11 let us know that there are other worlds that is in the universe. And so right now we are under quarantine, just like COVID, and the whole world was under quarantine, so to speak. Well, yes, because of sin, the entire world is under quarantine because of sin. And so therefore, the other beings that are in other habitable planets in the universe that has not been exposed to the contagiousness of sin, they have not fallen. So therefore, it's just this world, just to bring that serious clarity. 2, let us go back to the 2 perfect chapters, because there are only 4 perfect chapters in the entire Bible. Only 4. Genesis 1, Genesis 2, Revelation 1, Revelation 21, Revelation 22. Okay, only those 4 totally perfect. Everything in those 4 is as perfect as God himself is perfect. Now, all the other books and chapters is relating to sin and the problems of sin and how to redeem from sin. So when we look at Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, 1 man, 1 rib, 1 woman. Hey! 1 man, 1 rib, 1 woman equal 1. That's the only place you see that kind of a mathematics or maths or whatever you want to call it. Right? 1 plus 1 plus 1 equal 1. Okay? All right? So there's no polygamy there, because it's 1. 1 man, 1 rib, not 2 rib, and 2 women, 1 man, 1 rib, 1 woman. And both of them was 1. Watch that, you know. Watch that. Both of them was 1. All right. And you can read Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. You'll find that somewhere in there. All right. And if you notice, only 1 place that the woman was taken from. And it's a rib, which is right there at the side. To be equal, near the heart, to be love, and right under the arm, to be protected. So woman not to protect man. Man must protect woman. Man must love woman. Man, let me say that again. Man must love woman. Let me say that again. Man must love woman. Okay? That's it. That's it. And love is not a feeling. Let me say that again. Love is not a feeling. So you can't feel love today and you don't feel love tomorrow. That's not love. That is infatuation. So when you love, I mean, all of this I didn't know before, you know, experience, as Dr. T said, experience brings wisdom. Experience in God, I should say. Experience in God brings wisdom. Right? Because when you love, it's about giving. Let me say that again. When you love, it's about giving. Love is not about receiving. Love is about giving. That's it. That's it. So if us men would concentrate on giving love, then hopefully the woman will be able to reciprocate. Not the other way around. It's not woman to love man and then man reciprocate. Man to love woman as God love him, he should give that love to the woman and the woman reciprocate. So when Adam sinned and him blaming the woman, that is where everything gone funky right from there. He should have taken responsibility and said, sorry, Lord. That's it. Because he is supposed to love the woman. But instead him hand over the woman to be killed. Because remember, the wages of sin is death. So he's handing over the woman to be killed. He should have taken responsibility and said, sorry, Lord, for what I have done. He should have taken because of love. Because remember, you know, it was love why he ate the apple or the fruit or whatever it is. It's love. He loved his wife and he ate from the tree. Because remember, you know, if you go and look at it and read it properly, the woman was beguiled by the serpent. And the woman took. And she carried to the husband. And he took from the wife, from his wife, and he thought about it. What should I do? Should I eat and go with my wife? Or should I go with God? That's it. And he chose to go with his wife. So why him turn back now and want to hand his wife over to be killed? That's not love again. For love to be love, you have to have someone to love. So if God killed Eve because she gave him, then who am going to have to love? That don't make no sense. So the stupidity of men of men has brought us to where we are today. Because us men who want to be leaders, only way you can be leader is to lead in love. That's it. The only way you can be a leader is to lead in love. And that is why God himself come here and demonstrated leading in love through his son, Jesus Christ. To show us how to love, how to lead in love. And that's what really and truly love is about. Because God is love. The only place love comes from, the only person love comes from is God. You cannot, you and I cannot love without God. Let me say that again. You and I cannot love without God. Anything else is infatuation and lust and all of that. Because the only person love comes from is love. And that is why men, we are to love our wives. Love women as Christ loved the church. That's it. And he came and showed us how to love. So when you have 10 women and you claim, say you love 10 women and you express that love sexually, which you're only supposed to do with one, because 1 + 1 = 1. Not 1 + 1 = 2 or 3 or 4. And you have 10 women in your bed. That don't make sense. And that's not of God. And that is not love. So yes, you're going to say, well, what happened to Abraham? Abraham is a sinner just like you and I. Oh, what happened to King Solomon, the wisest man on the planet? He's a man just like you and I, struggling with sin, struggling with everything just like you and I. And yet, if you notice, the wisest man said, all is vanity. At the end of all of that, 700 wife and what have you, all is vanity. He never said all is love. All is vanity. So let us understand that love only comes from God. Don't come from what I did or what the woman did. It comes from God. And we need to start giving love and stop wanting to receive. Oh, she don't love me. No, you need to just love her. That's what you are, especially us as men. All we are called to do is love the woman. And there's only one type of love. And it's the love that comes from God. Now, there are different ways to express the love that comes from God. One love. Bob Marley sing it too. One heart. One love. But different ways to express the love. Agape is brotherly love. To just express to everybody. Don't kill them. Don't steal them. Don't stab them in them back. Don't talk bad things. So the law is really the law of love. Don't covet from your neighbor. Don't, all of that is to help us to show the love, the brotherly love. And then you have eros, which is the erotic, the sexual love that is only to be expressed between a husband and a wife. That's the only place it should be expressed, where you can say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, giving me the strength to have sex. Because you are doing it with that one person that God bless you with. Because if we keep that energy, that love energy for those one person, and we express that energy, that love that comes from God to that one person, then marriages would not end in divorce. Because right now it's 65 to 70%. So yes, Dr. Benny, 65 to 70% of marriages that end in divorce. Why? And we're talking about church people too. We're not just talking about, you know, people in the world. Talking about people who say, oh, I love God. If you love God, just love the little woman that is there also. Just love her. Spend the time like you're seeking after education. No, when you win the heart of a woman as a man, and I am talking on the behalf from a man's perspective. I can't talk from a woman perspective. I only can talk from a man perspective. And when you win the heart of a woman, you just get your high school diploma. Just your high school diploma. So you stop there? No. You either go on to learn a trade, or you go on to you know, higher level, you know, doctorate and so on, bachelor's and so on. You go on and study and learn something to do, apart from lazy men. So it's the same thing with women. Study the woman. Study that woman that God bless you with. Study that one. Don't try to study 10. Just that one. And I tell you, society, life on this planet will be as Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, when man and woman was living perfectly in bliss. Perfectly in bliss. And that's how God wants us to live. That's how we should live with each other, in love and in bliss. Not in 10 women and 15 women and you have one up the road, one down the road and one round the road. No. One woman. One man. Because 1 plus 1 equal 1. Thank you.
Dr. T, I have a question. I'm sorry because I may not be able to hang on for too long. How do you consider Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22 and verse 25 in your presentation? What do you think about it?
What is that scripture? Say that again.
I can read it to you. Ephesians 5, 22 and 25. Because as a marriage counselor, I focus entirely on what the word of God says, because he made us and he knows how we are more than we know how we are. Psychology, positive thinking, and all these different religious perspectives cannot replace what God says you are.
I agree.
Ephesians 5:22, the Bible says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. In Ephesians 5:25, it says, husband, love your wives, even as Christ loved this church and died for it.
So what is your question?
Yeah, how do you, what's your opinion about those two scriptures regarding what you talked about?
I agree 1000%. You know, in fact, I was going to say that, you know, the woman is supposed to submit to her husband. Submission is a very attractive quality, you know, that God has given the woman. It's not, it doesn't mean that she's a henpecked. It doesn't mean that she's weak.
Amen. Amen.
You know, it means that she knows, she understands, okay, the head is it's just like your physical body. There's only one head, but then there's one neck. I believe the woman is the neck of the man, and the head is over the neck. But there's a jugular vein. There's a jugular vein in the neck. And when the woman turns her neck, the man's head turns too. But it doesn't mean that she is controlling him. It just means they're on one accord, because one of them, they both need each other. But when she submits there's peace in her home, there's harmony in her home, there's love in her home, there's creativity in her home, there are goals that are being fulfilled in her home, when she's going to try to submit, because anything with two heads is a freak. Okay. Amen. So when she submits, that means she's allowing him to be Lord. Like Sarah called Abraham Lord. When a woman submits, she's calling him Lord, not like God our Lord, but she's letting him know, I am submitting to my headship that God put over the woman. And that's a very beautiful quality, and this power when a woman submits to her husband, because that means that she brings harmony and peace and objectivity, and she brings creativity, and she brings it's just an overall way of life that she brings. She's the Proverb 31 woman when she learns how to submit to her husband. And the man has to love. God commands the man to love his wife, because he knows that sometimes the woman could be unlovable. Because a lot of times women nag, they complain, they cry, they whine, because they are the weaker sex. I don't mean they're weaker in terms of their minds or their intelligence, because the way God made us, we are fragile like that. We're more emotional. So sometimes we may not always be lovable. So that's why God said, love your wife, tolerate her, learn to understand her, learn how to feed her and be gentle with her, because I made her that way. So I need for you to feed into the seed into where she's going to, and try to understand her, because men are from Mars and women are from Venus. We're two different types, we're two different species. I mean, we're from the same species, but we're two different mindsets, the way God made the man and the woman. So I agree wholeheartedly with that scripture. Women submit and men love their wives.
And just let me add also. Let me go back again to Genesis 1, Genesis 2. 1 plus 1 equals 1. Right, equals 1. Why? Because both man and woman come together and make one whole.
Make one whole.
One whole.
One whole.
Because there is certain things that a man can do.
Yes. But
there's certain things that a man can't do.
That's right.
Man don't like to hear that. You understand? And so with the woman and the man, both of them become one whole. 1 plus 1 equal 1.
1 plus 1
but
equals
you
1.
You and I, Brother Shaggy, as men, we forget the love part. We like the submit part. We as men love the submit part, but we don't like the love part. And I want to take us now as men to the story of Hosea. Oh, mercy. 3 times the story tells us that Hosea wife, Hosea go and catch his wife red-handed underneath a man. Now, most of us men would have beat that wife to a pulp. But that is when God called Hosea as a man to express more love. To express more love. To express more love. And that is what we as men need to do, so that the love can come back in the home. Come back to our community. Come back to our society. The love can come back in the world, where it will be a better place. Without God, there is no love. With God, there is love. Let us as men look at the love that God shows us, so that we can have that love show to our women.
Praise God. Praise God. Praise
So
God.
let us concentrate on the love and not on the submit. Because there's no woman on the planet would love a man if them have a knife at them throat or a gun at them head. But from once a man shows the woman the love that we should have from God, not from the woman, not because the woman doing this and that and this and that and that. Oh, and I feel like a king in my castle. I cock up my foot and she come put on my slippers and go outside. No. Love the woman. And the woman would respect you. The woman would love you. You don't worry about it. And if she don't love you, respect you, and love her still. God, that is what God is asking us to do. To love the woman. So let us keep to our responsibility as men and just love. Just love. Just love. You do something wrong, you want Christ to forgive you. You want God to forgive you. But yet still a woman just barely do something wrong and we're ready to kick her out of the house. Come out of the house. Where is the love? Where is the love? And that is what it is about. Love. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Derek. Thank you so much, Dr. T. And thank you, Brother Shaggy. And thank you, Dr. Benny. The last conversation has been about one thing that led to the other. And we appreciate the discuss. It's very educational to our audience, as well as the generation of Onpassive that will have to deal with this issue, which is something that everyone who is in this life of our own has to be part of. Thank you again. All right, moving on to the more hands raised. Okay, Brother Wilton, how are you? Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. How is everyone?
Awesome, thank you.
I think I got in after the presentation.
Hi, baby.
Yeah.
So let me say good evening, Dr. T, Dr. Derek, Dr. Patient, Dr. Benny, Jackie, Queen Debbie, and everyone. I've been listening a while, and I heard so many different ideas or suggestions. So I lost my chain of thought. However, I just want to give my input. This December coming will be 33 years since myself and my wife is married. And I heard a lot about relationship and communication and loving each other. But I just want to give my what works for me. You know, growing up as a Christian, one of the things that we always do, we pray to God to find us our soulmate or find us our wives and our husband. And we would pray religiously to God for the wives and the husband. When God provides a wife, sometimes we get them and we forget God now because we are so excited and in love and everything that we anticipate is working. But one thing we each one have to do in a relationship, whether they are you have to keep God on the forefront. If you consult with God in everything that you do, doesn't matter how simple, you consult with God and said, God, if it is your will, let it be done. You pray, you let go, you let God, you're gonna get yes and no, but still God will. And so if we take that into a relationship, then selfishness won't take over. The me will disappear. The I will not spring up.
Yes, yes.
If we work together, if we assure each other every day, if we let each other feel like you're the only person on planet Earth, then distraction is hard to come.
Amen.
If I as a male walk in a room and I see 100 beautiful women, when my wife show up, she's the only one I should be focusing on. The moment you start staring off, the moment you start taking a second look, a third look, then you're devaluing her presence. But you cannot do that without putting God in place. So as a male, as a man, as a father, as a brother, as a husband, as a friend, I would say, put God first. Allow him to lead and follow. So that the only way I could meet my wife's needs, my needs be met if I met hers first.
Amen.
We are selfish in our relationship sometimes. We got too much on the list that we don't have. So many we want that we cannot give back. And once we start to do the together thing, once we start to assure each other, once we start to uplift each other, once we start to let each other know that you should not be afraid to speak your mind. You should not be afraid to delegate. Speak what's on your mind. Say what's important. Say what you don't like. When we let each other know that we should have open minds so we can be able to speak and become the listener. We should be the biggest cheerleader for each other. Once you start doing that and you start gravitate to those things and applies them, then the relationship gets stronger every day. And so you will have so much to offer to others. So much will be looking up to you, and so much will be wanting to know, why does it work for you and it doesn't work for me? And you would be easy to say, put God first. Allow God to be involved in all your decision making. It doesn't matter. A car, a home, preparing for child, preparing for college, in-laws, outlaws, name it. If you put God first, I want you to be in the center of everything. Then there will be so much love to get. So my humble suggestions is that we do what God said. Love each other the way he wants us to love him. Once we do that, then we can explore, we can exhale, we can move anything together. Nothing is too big that we cannot conquer. Nothing is too great that we cannot overcome, because we put God first. Once you do that, all the other attraction will disappear because you're doing it the God way. Then for the person who don't care less about God and just want to do it their way, then you are knowing they are not a true follower. They are not adhering to what God has called them to do. It's to love. And before I go, I just want to say a good place to go for these advice. Before you get into this deep, go to marriage.com. There's so much stuff that you can learn from there. But the greatest book is the Bible. The greatest example is the Bible. Once you start studying the Bible, applying it every day, you can shake off all temptation as it comes. Because when it does come, you can piggyback and say, no, this is not what God has created me for. It's like David, that David's wife, the kid that was with David's wife, when David's wife wanted to sleep with her, and he said, how could I do this great wickedness and sin against my God? Because he was doing what God has intended for him to do was to be true and committed, then all the baggage will fall off, because we're following God's step. Order my step, oh Lord. That's what the song says. And once we do that, we can rest assured that we can have a healthy relationship. We can be the best to each other. And then we can in turn become the best to somebody who are struggling. Because what happened, I'm making my last point. What happened in most relationships, when you go in, you did not go in because you were all in. You're going for what you can have. And when the book is open, you realize that it's not there. So you have a change of heart and everything goes south. But if you take me as I am, if you see me as I am, you don't look at my credibility, you don't look at my educational status. If you see me for who I am, that I'm a God-fearing person, and you're praying for a God-fearing person, in no time you find each other. In no time you have what you were asking God all along for. But oftentimes, with too much time, we put self first. And when we reach at the end of the road, then we say, God, I need your help. So I would just say, thanks for the platform. It is a great place. This is like church to me. This is what I grew up and know. This is all I know. But to be a part of a company that allows us to express ourselves, to teach each other, to learn from each other, to motivate each other, to guide each other, I could not ask for a better place. I just know that greater things are ahead of us. What we have to do is educate our mind to allow God to help us to be humble at first. Because for us to be a true servant, we have to be humble. Doesn't matter how much money may come. Once we're humble and allow God to lead us, everything will just fall in place. So I want to say thank you. And I'll throw it back to Sister Queen Debbie. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Brand Ambassador Brother Wilton. It's always an honor listening to you with your contributions to every webinar, especially here on Deep Dive. Thank you. Words of wisdom. You hear that? Been married for 33 years. Gee, I don't know. What does that make us? If you have been married for 33 years, you probably were a baby when you got married, but I'm not going into numbers. But I know. We should not be looking at numbers. You're happily married. That's what matters. You have a wonderful partner for a
Yes,
while.
I did it at age 25.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for sharing. And I thought when I saw you holding a baby, I thought that was your baby, but I thought now I think it's
And baby.
Thank you so much for sharing tonight. Awesome. I don't want to get too personal, but nothing wrong with that. But thank you. Truly appreciate you. Brand Ambassador iPhone. Queen iPhone. I know I see your face. You've been here before, but I do not remember the name.
Alberta Harris.
Yes. Queen Alberta Harris. And so somehow your name keeps disappearing each time you sign in. It's okay.
I know. Dr. Derek tells me what to do to keep it on, but I haven't figured that out yet.
It's all right. I'm doing
anyway, good evening to everyone. I have been listening and enjoying and feel like I'm in Bible study. I really enjoy everything. The one question I have is for Dr. Derek, who I would like to know what's the difference with universe and the world? Because he said the world is the one that has the pandemic, but there's the universe that there's no sin or it's clean, no pandemic. I thought the whole world had pandemic and that's it. That's
Oh,
my
mercy.
question.
Okay. That is some serious level Bible study now. We don't want to go too much in Bible
Just
study.
a question I want to answer.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a all right, we're talking about love and so okay. Actually the Bible has to deal with love because that is why we were created, right? Because a lot of people ask the question, why, if there's a loving God, and this is a question that many people ask, if there is a loving God, why is there so much problems and sin and heartache and headache and bellyache and all of those things in the world with a loving God? Because these things happen, it doesn't mean that there's not a loving God. Just look at it in terms of you as a parent.
Definitely, I know that.
Yeah, you as a, I mean, I'm trying to answer the question as much as possible, right? So that we understand. Because I can just give a 2 or a 3 word answer, but it might not be understood, you know. And I like people to understand what I'm saying. And so because you are a loving parent, your love doesn't prevent your child from getting into mischief. Your love don't prevent your child from getting into mischief. Burn them hand on the hot pot, even though you tell them over and over, don't touch the hot stove, don't touch the hot iron, don't this, don't that, they still, does that mean that you don't love them? No, it doesn't mean that. Because for love to be love, the person has to have a choice. It's the same thing for God. For love to be love, you and I have to have choices, or else we would be robots. Okay?
Okay.
So therefore, when he created, and if you believe in creation, because some people don't, and that's okay, but if you believe in creation, and you have to have faith to believe both theories, whether you believe in evolution, a big bang, big bang, still evolution type, or you believe in that there's a loving God that created, you have to believe it in faith. Because you and I wasn't there, especially if you're going to believe in millions and millions and millions of years, you and I definitely wasn't there. So God is a creator. And so therefore, he did not create just this world that beings are inhabited. He created other worlds that is out there. And as I said, you can go to Hebrew 11 and yes, and read that where other worlds are created. So we have to just accept that by faith, basically. So when Lucifer, because if you look at now, you have to get into a little prophetic book, which is Revelation. When you look at Revelation 12 and you read Revelation 12, maybe the first seven or so verses or 12 verses thereabout. But read the whole, I like to just read the whole chapter. When you read a verse, it might, but when you read the entire chapter of Revelation 12, you understand that there was war in heaven. Yes, war was in heaven. Who was fighting? Some of the angelic beings. Now, those are other beings that were created by God. And they call them seraphims and cherubims and all of those angelic beings was created. And one of them, which was Lucifer, which was one of them, Ezekiel 28 give us a lot about Lucifer and who he was and how beautiful he was and how dynamic he was and how awesome he was, etc., etc. But pride got into Lucifer. How? We don't know. That's a mystery. The mystery of sin. Got into Lucifer, and Lucifer started to look at himself instead of looking to God. And so, there was a conflict. God, after pleading and pleading and pleading, just like I'm pleading with us, plead with the angels, and throw him out of heaven. No, he did not throw him out. People have different ideas of this part, which, he visited other worlds that are occupied by beings. Now, we are human beings. We don't know what beings they are, but let us leave them at beings that are occupied by beings, and they rejected what he was offering. But we accept him, so to speak, and that is Adam accepted him. And so, because Adam accepted him, he, and Job tell you this also, if you read the book of Job, I think from verse 1, chapter 1, it tell you that there was this council, and Lucifer, or Satan, actually it said Satan, went and represented earth. Why? Because when God created this earth and put Adam in charge, because remember he said he gave Adam dominion
over everything, yeah.
Which means charge. Because remember he said he gave him, which means Adam was the representative of earth. So any council, he was like the president of earth. So whenever there's a council meeting of the universe with all the representation of all the habited worlds would come together, and as I said, you read that in Job, they would come together, and what have you. And if you also remember that Adam meet the God of the universe in the cool of the day, where they had rapport, right? So it's the same thing. And so Lucifer or Satan went to that meeting because, of course, after sin, Satan took charge, and he's kind of in charge right now, and that is why there's so many evil and devastation, because he is the one that come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. That is his goal, right? So it's either you're going to stay with him in that predicament, or you're going to come out of that predicament and believe that there is a God. It's only two choices. So yes, that was the reason we accepted Satan, because of what Adam did. So he didn't affect the other worlds, because God now, just like in the pandemic, quarantine, right? And so that is why we cannot go outside of our solar system. The farthest we can see is in our solar system. And when you talk about, and you learn this in school, when you talk about the solar system is a part of one galaxy, which we know as the Milky Way galaxy. And the Milky Way galaxy is so vast that, you know, man is still baffled with what is out there beyond our solar system, which right now them don't even classify Pluto anymore as a planet, because, you know, they recognize that really and truly it's not a planet. So we don't have 9 planets anymore because of technology, and we are able to see a little better and able to, you know, but we are still seeing inside of the Milky Way galaxy, which is one galaxy in the universe. And God created the universe. And Psalms tell you that he's from everlasting to everlasting. No beginning, no end. So yes, the universe is very vast, which fortunately we are not privy to, because we are quarantined because of sin.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you. I get it. Thank you very much. Now, one little question. Do you think because we are in the world and there's universe, is that where Cain went when he sinned and had to leave and go to another country or world?
No, Cain is quarantined, just like every one of us. There's no leaving and going anywhere. Cain,
where did he find wife?
No, he find wife right here on this earth.
I thought it was only 3 or 4 of them.
4 of who?
Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel.
Yeah, but you remember that Adam lived to 930 years, and he had sons and daughters. You see, if you and I barely live to what?
60, 70.
I say 70. That's where we are now. You know, some people, because of a little more grace, they live a little longer. So you and I live to 70. And with you and I living to 70, my great-grandmother had 14 children. And we're talking about a couple. We're not talking about children out there. Couple, grandmother, grandfather, and they alone had 14 children. Right? And I have known, I'm from in Jamaica, there's this man by the name of Charlie Mattress. And he had 32 children, different wives, of course. He had 32 children. So if you, one little man just living to 70 years old, have 32 children, how much children you expect? And of course we are little frail, more frailer, sick, wimpy, what have you. We're talking about Adam, which archaeologists and historians, Christian historians, said that Adam had to be at least 18 feet tall. So imagine a man 18 feet tall with the Arnold Schwarzenegger body and no problem medically, no prostate problem, no financial problem, because I tell you, remember that this was at the beginning of creation, when man is in his prime. So if Adam and Eve, yes, I mean the Bible, you have to remember, you know, everything cannot be in the Bible.
Yeah, they say half has never yet been told.
Here you go. What is in the Bible is enough for our salvation. That is the important part. But if you still read it, you'll get the understanding that Adam, just Adam and his wife, had a whole generation zizzes. What a pitney. So much so that some of the brothers, marry them sister, marry them cousin, marry them, all of that used to go on. Right? But yes, and God did make a cutoff time for all that also. And that is in Genesis. Right? So a lot of, but at that time, men were still a little bit more perfect in terms of health, in terms of quality of life, etc., etc. So God, in his wisdom, had to permit it, because remember, he said, be fruitful and multiply the earth. But you shouldn't even talk about that. You should come down to the flood. Because remember, the flood with Noah, it was only 4 men and 4 women. Noah, his wife, and his 3 sons, and his 3 sons' wife, as human beings that was saved after the flood. And that is where the proper, and let me just go into a little black history, that is where the world as it is was populated from, really. Right? Everything happened from Mount Ararat. That's where and of course that is in Africa. Okay? Straight. That's in Africa. When Shem went up north to, not Shem, Japheth went up north to Europe. Shem went across to the Saudi Arabia section there, Jerusalem and all of that over there. And Ham stayed down in Africa. Right? And that is how you start to have different color of skin. That's it. No race. Because there's only one race. If we read the black history properly, it's only one race, and that's a human race. But we have different skin coloration because of mainly where we live. And that is why, sometimes, and then because of pigmentation after marriage and having children, with a woman up there, so around there, so over there. So all of that just change pigmentation of skin. That's it. But other than that, all of us come from Africa.
I figure that, yeah.
Because we come from those 3 or 4 people. Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and their wives. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Sister Alberta. I know you enjoyed this webinar.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much for your questions. And it makes us to really understand, because the more you ask questions, then some of us learn from it. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Derrick. Oh, I always say my king, Dr. Derrick. I really appreciate what you said. Something that you said, that God created the man, and God removed the ribs, 1 rib or 2, whatever, to create that woman. Right? 1 rib. Okay, one rib. Okay. 1 rib. 1. Okay, great. And that man needs to really support that woman. I respect that. I hope. I think if we were doing that, I'm sorry, I don't think there will be divorces, Thank you. I appreciate this.
Because if you notice, the attack on the home is mostly on the men. And that is why, if you notice again, women now have to, as it were, quote unquote, step up in the home because the man gone. Him plant him seed, put up him flag, plant him seed, and run gone. That's the life of the men in our society. So the women is now left because she can't run from her belly. Woman can't run from them belly because them belly attached to them, unfortunately. So they can't run away. But man, put up him flag, plant him seed, and then him run. I remember when I was in the military, two men was arguing who can have the most baby mother for this year. That's what they're arguing. That's the argument, you know. Who can have more baby mother than the other one? And more babies, not the baby mother. More babies than the other one for the year. And it turned out to be a real challenge. That was the argument. It turned out to a real challenge, and the two men them challenge. One end up with 21, one end up with 20. Who suffer? The women and those children. The women and those children. So the devil is attacking, and the best way to attack is to attack the men, because if you attack from the top, so to speak, everything falls. And that's why there's so many broken homes, because us men are under attack, because we step out of love, step out of God, and we are big macho man doing things on my own, me luge, and it don't work that way. It don't work that way. Nothing can work without God. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. Brand Ambassador Vittel, my brother, unmute yourself and share us your excitement, please.
My sister Benny, how are you?
I am Onpassive, my brother.
Okay,
Thank
okay. You. Sister Debbie, how are you, my dear? Sir Derek, I want to apologize because I came on and I missed that powerful presentation by Dr. T. So when I came on, I heard Dr. Benny talking, and I said, whoa, that was right up my alley here, because we are at the beginning of January this year. I did a presentation for Oh Bless, and setting up some shelters in Jamaica for battered women. And it's a very highly emotional, charged topic. I had some, when it came down to the Q&A, there was a lot of tears. And it was on both sides, because I have men saying the same thing, that they were abused by their wives. And so this is a worldwide phenomenon. Worldwide. And but it's mostly on the men's side. Mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly. And so I heard you mention that I don't know if your grandfather had 14 children. Was it your grandfather, Dr. Derek? Yes. I mean, my mom had 14 of us. My mom gave birth. As a matter of fact, it was 15, and one of the twin died. And so it was equally, after the twin died, it was equally now with 7 boys and 7 girls. And so I grew up among women. My mom is going to be 97 this year and still strong. And I remember growing up how protective I was of my sisters. I mean, I got into fight in school just to protect them. And so I've learned from way back that, you know, a woman, you have to have love. And the word LV, love is in all that you do, you must love and set the pace. And the V stands for virtue. And the virtue is the quality of moral excellence. It must be number one in your living philosophy. And so about 2 years ago, I got a call from this young lady in Jamaica that she was calling from her neighbor's house. And this was somebody I met about 7 years before that call was made to me. And I've never seen her again. But and she had she made a call to me saying that she was in an abusive situation, and she just was calling from her neighbor's house. And these are people that you would never think, because these are, you know, it's not, well, people are in the higher echelon of society, and you would never think that was taking place, but it did. And she was asking for help. And suddenly came to me and it says, you know, what would you do if this was one of your daughter? I have one daughter. And it says, what would you do if this was your sisters, any of your sisters? And I have 3 precious granddaughters. What would you do if that was one of your granddaughters calling you for help? And after I thought about it for a while, and I said, listen, I need to start. And my very first project that I'm working on for Oh Bless, and not really Oh Bless, but I'm working on this project, is to set up shelters for battered women, battered and abused women. That was on the top of my list. And I've done the research on it. It's a very highly charged topic. And when I made that presentation, it was very emotional. There was a lot of tears. And I didn't really know that, you know, this was so highly charged emotionally, because women are really, you know, taken advantage of. But as to my daughter and my sisters, you know, it's I was always there to protect them when we were growing up. My daughter, yes, I didn't grow up with her, but I'm here to protect her. I'm here to protect my granddaughter. And for all these women out there who are going through an abusive relationship, I just want to apologize for what's taking place. But these men are all cowards. That's what they are. You know, they are cowards. You know, you're beating up on your wife, and if it happens in your family, you know, you gotta get up and make sure that you protect your loved one. And so I have made a decision to look at setting up some real Onpassive style, Mr. Ashmafari's style shelters for women, where they could get the necessary help when it's needed, because these men will follow you all over the world, and they'll follow you if you just try to leave, and they'll kill you. That's how dangerous it gets. And in Jamaica, where I'm from, 1 out of 4 women, let me say that again, 1 out of 4 women in Jamaica have been involved in an abusive situation. That's 25%. And worldwide, you know, in some societies, it's even more. And so it was interesting how we started to talk about this topic here, because, you know, this is what I've spent a lot of time. As a matter of fact, you know, here's a book right here I put together. And anybody who want to join me in because, you know, this is not just for Jamaica. This is going to be for, we may set up the prototype there. This is going to be for the world. Set up some nice things where, now that we have all connect and all these lovely products in Onpassive, we can use it to our advantage to connect with the women and counsel them, give all the psychological and psychiatric counseling that they need, all the help that they need. And it has to be, I'm looking to set up about 3 of these shelters. And this is my very, very, very first project. And it was interesting that when I came on, that's what we're discussing. So it started out very subtle, in a very subtle way. It's a very subtle way with abuse. And it's not just physical abuse, it can be verbal or mental abuse. You know, it's your husband or your mate start to put you down and call you names. You know, they start to be very controlling over you. Tell you what you should wear and what you shouldn't wear and all that type of stuff. And it happens, and it starts from there, and then I've seen studies where the wife is trying to escape and the husband, you know, find her and just murder her. And so most of the women are afraid. They're afraid to even leave their abusive environment. And then when you ask them, why do you say it? It's easy for you to say, you know, where do I go? Where do I go? And so my project is to deal with all those questions, to find a safe haven for women who are in an abusive relationship and needs a place to go. And we build in 3, we're looking at building 3 of these shelters. And those, if there's anybody who are interested in this type of project, you know, I'm here to work with anybody from any country at all. You know, not just for Jamaica, it's from any country. Jamaica may be the prototype, but I'm willing to work with anybody who are willing to look at this subject here that have been plaguing society for a long time. And on behalf of my sisters and my daughter and my granddaughters, you know, I want to stand up for women. You know what I mean? And on behalf of all my brand ambassadors, the women in this forum, who would like to join in creating this, having more discussion on this thing, yeah, because this is, you know, we're going to be, if you think it's bad now, you wait until, you know, those money start to, you know, to drop in Onpassive. It may get worse. So, you know, we have to start to learn how to love and to respect each other. And that's where it starts. And I want to just apologize to, you know, and the women on this forum who have gone through that. And I want to say that help is on the way. Because with Onpassive is not just to make you rich, is to make you, you know, start to do some civilized things, humanitarian causes. And I'm also working on another project to attack, you know, hunger and starvation worldwide. That one, you know, I've been involved in the food industry for a long time, so I have some contact in the food industry, know how to And I'm working on that project right now, on a second project. And I will be making another presentation on that one in a short while. So thanks for Dr. Benny for giving me the opportunity to speak up. It's a topic that some people are not, are ashamed to talk about. Some people are, it has happened to them, and you should not be ashamed. It's time for us to speak up and do something about it. You know what I mean? And as long as Onpassive remains this beacon of hope, we will change the world and make it a better place for all women and all men. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Benny. God bless.
Thank you so much, Brother Vittel. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming. And thank you for sharing your thoughts as well. Brother Ricky, please unmute yourself and continue to share your excitement. Please unmute. Proceed, please.
Hi, everyone, again. I just wanted to touch on Brother Shaggy when he asked and he said to Sister T, husband, submit to your wife, and wife, submit to your husband. Now, as Brother Derek said, over the years, you gain experience, you gain knowledge. Something that I have gained over the years, how I see that verse in the Bible is that submission is true good communication. Because when Brother Derek talked about when Adam sat before Satan said he represented the earth, and Adam sat with the Lord and they communicated, Adam was submitting to the Lord because they had a good communication. If there was a difference, they will talk about it and come to a mutual agreement. So when I look back at my life as a man, I didn't understand what that submission meant. I grew up with the ignorance, and I'm using the word very strongly, very ignorant, thinking that when you get married and the Bible say, wife submit to your husband, it means you come home to a clean house, food cook, children well taken care of, all that is done. All you do, as Brother Derek said, you come home and you put your foot up, you get your slippers, and you feel as the man of the house. And now that I've looked back, I can clearly say that submission is not I expecting what to be done, is I expecting to communicate with my wife or communicate with my partner so that we will both be in harmony. So now that it has been brought up here in this forum, I just want to share it more from my personal experience. If you feel submission is coming home to find a perfect home, that's not really submission. If you're expecting submission to be, I tell my wife or I tell my husband what to do, that is not submission. Submission is both of you working in harmony, both of you sitting down together and figuring out what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, what's going to make us stay together. Because as Brother Derek said, Adam sat in the shade and he communicated with God. So we need to do that. We need to stop letting our young men see submission, especially to a woman, as this is what I expect. You come home, I come home from work, and I expect this done. Or I go out and hang with my partners, do what I want to do, and you can't do anything. I mean, the last thing that a man should do to a woman is take away her independence. I said that earlier. Even though you may be married or in a relationship, you are still an independent individual, and your partner or your husband should be able to listen and communicate with you. If something is going wrong, instead of beating her up or getting upset with her or kicking her out, right? Then leave the relationship, leave it on a mutual ground, but don't harm her, because I believe if you don't want me to kick your ass, why should I kick somebody else's ass? Why should I beat her? What purpose am I serving? Am I submitting myself to making her feel uncomfortable so that I can feel happy? Then when you look at it, then you are being a bully, right? We are being a bully to each other. Either the man is being a bully to the woman, or the woman is being a bully to the man, right? Submission to me means that we both sit under that tree in the shade, like what Adam did with the Lord, and we communicate with each other so that we can have a better marriage. Because without communication, right, without that, you have nothing. I hate when I hear a man put a woman out because maybe what? He catch her looking at another man or cheat with another man. Love, if you love, look at an animal. It doesn't matter how much a human being kick an animal. That animal still comes back and sit at the feet of the master. That is what God is teaching us to do. He says, I love you in spite of all that you have done, all your sins, all your weakness, all your thoughts. I still love you. You are still free. As Dr. Derek said, you still have the choice to come and sit at his feet. Sit at his feet. So for me, submission is communication. Two people talking together to work things out. Not because that person make a mistake, you kick them to the curb. You don't do that. So I really feel we men need to re-educate ourselves. We need to look at ourselves and see how much we say we love. Well, as Dr. Derek said, love is not an action. You give it. You give it with not expecting it to come back to you. You give it because it's the right thing to do. You give it because your heart, your soul tell you, I need to share it. You can't hold love back. You need to share love. So if you're really sharing love with your wife, your partner, whoever it is, then share it. And don't wait to expect it to come back to you. It doesn't come back to you. Love doesn't come back to you. Love gets acknowledgement. When your partner come and say, hey, Ricky, thank you for listening to me today. Hey, thank you for telling me my meal was good today. Or thank you for telling me it didn't taste good, but you're still appreciated. That's love. Love comes in all different form and fashion. So for that, I am very, very grateful for this open discussion. And I hope that we have a lot more like this within our company, because this is more than just a company. This is a family. And I feel very close to everybody. Every time I come onto the meeting, I have something to take away from this meeting. So let's remember that we are a family, and with a family, we can share anything. We are not here to judge or to criticize. We are here to support and lift each other up. So I am happy to be part of this Onpassive family. And thank you very much, guys, for listening.
Sister Benny, can I quickly respond to
Yes,
Brother
please.
Ricky?
I think he called your name. So go ahead and respond. Yes,
Brother
Papa.
Ricky, thank you for your contribution. I think anytime we listen to the word of God, man has a way of twisting the word around, which is the issue, because I understand where you're coming from. When God, I didn't say, when God said, first, husband must love your wife, and then wife submit. God was relating to what he created. It wasn't talking about slaving. What you describe or what people think in terms of submission is slavery. That's not what God was talking about. God was looking at the need of each one of us. As a man, you know that out there when you are with everybody around, people are around you, it's not how much your wife comes and kiss you and touch your hand and hold your back that really touches your core. God made us in his image, and he knew what each person needs. And at these issues, at the level of discussion in Africa, in America, here we see some of the biggest problem in the home is those two things that are missing: submission and love. Love itself is submission, because it means we put the other person first, put our interests first. I just celebrated in December my 35th wedding anniversary. Right? Your wife must be first. There are things I wanted to do that I said I was going to do at December. When that time came, I did something else because she has to come first. I don't want to go to the details of that. So the submission is not slavery. It's to say, what is the need in a man? What's the need in a woman? A woman desires to be loved. A man don't desire to be loved. They desire to be, I want to put the word, either respect or honor, but not in the way of subservient. It's just that God that made us knows what clicks. When a man should love his wife, just like Christ loved his church and died for her. But God is the one, not me, who says in Ephesians 5:25, and we mix it all. We always think, oh, it means, because we've seen people who abused it. No, it's not to be abused. It's just to meet the need in that man. The need in that man is not to say, I love you, I kiss you, I kiss you. It's to let him feel its worth, its value, and he returns it back. Let the man feel the love that nothing in this world matters to me but you. That you are everything. Without you, I'm nothing. Without you, I can't. Once the woman feels that this man is sold, submission is not an issue. So it's not a submission of slavery. No, it's mutual. It's give and take. And God made it so clear. Give and take. I know what she wants. It's love, unconditional love. Give it to her. I know what he wants. He wants to feel that he's a man and he won't rob you of anything. So that's my take from this word of God. And I think it's so key. And I said it because I know we are raising young male, young female. Some of us are old. What should we tell our daughters? What should we tell our sons in the relationship? What to expect and what to give. So when each one give their own, there's unity of the body. When each person doesn't give their own, there is trouble in the home. In an African society, tell you where to park out. Here, they'll tell you to park out. So, it's not like, oh, yeah, okay, I don't love you anymore, park your load. No, here, they'll tell you, they're not coming in here in the house, and you better get your bag and get out. So that's not even an issue. But when those two things that God said to do, we do it, it makes the marriage last. It makes things just work. A man have a need. I don't want to use the word that might make it look like, it's egoistic. It's just the need that a man has to feel that he has some honor. And the woman has this need to feel loved. God created us, and he says that's the key. That's why I asked the speaker that how do you see that? Because people see it as subservient, slavery. No, it's not. It's just the arithmetic that makes it work. I hope I'm able to answer you because I have people's hands up. And I don't want to hold anybody down. Thank you. Thank you again for your contribution. I really appreciate your position.
Brother Ricky, you want to say something? Go ahead. Unmute yourself, please. Brother Ricky, go ahead.
No, well, what I was saying is that with what Brother Shaki said, it is true, but I was more relating to my own life experience and how I interpret that submission. I'm not interpreting that submission as slavery or anything, but I just feel that growing up as a young man, that I have seen in my own culture where the men feel that the woman should be doing everything. And the woman should be, if he says jump, she jump, right? And I believe now with my life experience that the submission, how I see submission from both the man and the woman is that more communication. Because if both persons have good communication, then no one feel as if they need to submit to each other, right? We all know from the Bible that the man is the head of the home. The man is the protector of the home. The man is the one where the final decision is made, but it doesn't mean that his wife or his partner doesn't have a say. That's why he took the rib of the man. He took just one rib. And that's why, as Dr. Derek said, 1 + 1 + 1 = 1. When you have that good communication, that submission to listen to each other, you feel as one, you move as one, you think as one. That's why they have a saying that I don't know if other countries do, but in Trinidad, they say, after a while, a husband and wife start to look like each other. They start to think as each other because you are one.
Amen.
You don't have to second guess, well, maybe he ain't go like that, or she ain't go like this. You know exactly what you like, what to do, how to please you. And as you said a few minutes ago, that when you go out there, your husband don't need to be up under you like a handbag, or you don't have to be up under your husband like a belt, because it's understanding that we love each other. We don't have to wonder what he is doing or what he is saying, because the communication is there, the love is there, right? So we really need to let our men know, let's look at it, both the young men and the older men, because today, when I go out, I see the young woman trying to impress the young man. For whatever stupid reason, they are trying to impress the young man, and vice versa, right? Failing to understand that you're only looking at 1 out of the 12 that Sister T talk about, okay? You still have to look at 11 more down the road, right? You still have to look at 11 more down the road. So we as men, especially we the men who have walked the path, need to let our friends and our younger men know that life is not just about picking the looks or picking the walk or picking the one who cook good. It's a little bit of everything.
Yes.
It's a little bit of everything, because when we look at life, I look at life like a plate of food. The more colors you have on the plate, the more attractive it looks to eat.
That's right.
If you only have rice on the plate, I go say, woman, rice again? But if she put rice, salad, a little macaroni pie, some callaloo, some ground provision, and she put some gravy over that, I say, wow, you cook. You really cook today, right? That's life. Life is a little bit of everything. And as I said, growing up, I didn't know that. I had to experience that myself. So that's why I come back to say that when I hear the word, as you said, husband submit to your wife and wife submit to your husband, is putting a little bit into the relationship that make the submission so easy and seamless, that it doesn't feel like you're submitting, right? I always say to my kids, I always try to bring it down to the most simplest thing. Life is a plate of food. The more colors it is, the more attractive. McDonald's do it to us. Burger King do it to us. They show us all the tomatoes and all the cheese running down the burger and the fries and the sparkling pop. What do we do after we see the commercial? We line up in the queue to go buy a Burger King. Or we line up in the queue to get the kids McD and all that foolishness. Life is a plate of food. The more colors there is, it's like a rainbow. A rainbow doesn't have one color. It has 12 colors. Sometimes I see 14 colors in a rainbow, but you have to look. So I say to my fellow Onpassive people and to our young people out there, don't just look at life as one color. Life is more. And submission doesn't mean I tell you what to do or you tell me what to do. Submission is we both coming together and working to see what is best for both of us. Because at the end of the day, when that door closed behind the entire world, it's still both of you. Right. It is still both of you. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Ricky. We appreciate your, man, I love your input because, I mean, you got it from Brother Shaggy. Brother Shaggy, I mean, the way you are behaving and the way you're saying all this, Brother Shaggy, I tell you, it is really good. This is, I think I hope you are really teaching all the men so that if they can really follow your footsteps, I'm telling you, there will be no killing, there will be no divorce. That's the way I look at it. Thank you, Brother Shaggy. Brother Pastor Shaggy. Sorry. All right. Brand Ambassador Evelyn Jenkins, please unmute yourself and share us your excitement about this topic. Thank you.
Good evening. I am enjoying the topic. I put in the chat that it wasn't about the topic. And before you close, I'd like to ask my question.
Certainly, please proceed.
You may proceed with my question now?
Yes, please.
I'd like Dr. Derrick to show us or me how to do the background. That's my question. I said it wasn't on the topic.
No problem, no problem. Dr. Derrick, okay, he's here.
Background. Okay. You're on a computer, Evelyn?
Yes, I am.
All right. If you look where it says stop video and or start, for you, it will be start video because your video is stopped. So do you see where it says start video and that like a video camera looking thing as an icon?
No.
You're in Zoom?
Yes.
Do you see the Zoom menu at the bottom of your screen where
Yes.
to mute
Yes.
and unmute your audio?
Yes.
All right. So right beside it to the right, it's start video for you. Do you see that now?
No, I just see participants, chat, share, show captions,
Do you see stop audio?
No. No,
Do
I
you
don't.
see mute?
Yes.
Right. So right beside mute, you don't see video.
Oh. On the total
You see it
opposite.
now?
Yes, it's on the opposite side. Sorry.
All right, beautiful. So right beside the video camera, that looking icon, to the right of the video camera, do you see a little arrow pointing up? It's a small little arrow pointing up.
It's next to the mute button. It's closer to the mute.
But do you see one close to the
Yes.
video?
Well,
how many of those arrows do you see? You should see two. One
There's
near
only-
to the audio, one near to the video.
there's only one.
Look again. Should be seeing two arrows, one for the audio, one for the video.
Only one.
Only one?
Yes.
All right.
I clicked it. I clicked the one that I see,
Mm-hmm.
and it says speaker,
Mm-hmm.
test
No.
speaker.
No. Well, look near to the video camera. You should see one.
No, there isn't.
Look good.
I'm not missing it. It's not there.
Well, you were missing the video, the start video.
Yes.
So, who to tell?
You're
It's
absolutely right.
right beside it. Take a closer look. From you see the start video, in that location, you should see a little arrow, just like how you see the arrow for the audio.
There's no arrow. None.
Look good, man. Is your Zoom meeting full screen? Does it full up your?
It can. I don't have it on full.
Put it on full screen for me, please. Put your Zoom meeting on full screen.
Okay. It's on full screen.
All right. Do you see the arrow now?
No. It's
But you see start video.
Yes.
And you see And you see the little icon, the video camera icon?
The video icon?
Yes, right above start video. Do you see a video camera icon?
I see the video. I see the video itself with a line through it. Is that the icon?
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you see the little arrow beside it now?
No.
All right. Do you see participants?
Yes.
Do you see the little arrow beside participant?
Yes.
And you're not seeing the little arrow beside video?
No.
Okay. Do you have a video camera?
Yes.
All right. Start your video. Did you click on start video?
Yes.
All right. It means you don't have a video camera connected to that computer.
wait.
So it's not giving you the
Give me one.
options.
I didn't. It's not letting me unmute it.
Mhm. It says, did you click on start video? And
Oh. Okay. It might be because I don't have my camera on.
mhm. Yeah.
It showed up.
All right. So you see the little arrow now?
Yes.
All right. So click on the arrow now.
Okay.
And when you click on the arrow, do you see at the bottom of that menu that jump up, do you see video settings?
Yes.
Click on it.
Okay.
On the left-hand menu, do you see background and effects?
Yes.
Click on background and effect.
Okay. It says blur or none.
All right, beautiful. So over to the right-hand side of that window, about in the middle, do you see a plus sign?
Yes.
Click on the plus sign. Do you see a little drop-down mark with add image?
Yes.
Click on add image.
Got it.
It is going to take you now to your picture folder of your computer.
Okay.
So wherever the picture is that you want to be a background, then you choose the picture. And when you click on the picture, it will come up.
Well, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna put it in there.
Yeah, put it in there for the time being, just to show you how to do it. And do you see the background now in that window at the top of that screen, of that window?
Okay, say that again.
Do you see the picture that, did you choose a picture?
Yes.
Right, so do you see it come up now at the
in the file name?
At the top of
Yes.
that window that you are
Yes.
at?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. And are you looking blurry or are you looking okay, etc.?
Looking good. Looking good.
Looking good. All right.
Yes.
So that is how you load it. And all you not need to do now is close the screen, close that window with the video setting. And whenever you put on your camera, then you'll see the background.
Okay.
But you'd have to have on the camera.
I'd have to have what?
You'd have to have on the camera. You
Okay.
have to start the
Okay.
video.
Okay.
For it to display, you'd
Okay,
have to
but
start the video.
I wanted the background you have.
Yeah, but you'd have to pull that from WhatsApp, because I sent
Okay.
it to you in WhatsApp. So you'd have to first download it from WhatsApp.
Okay.
You have to first download it from WhatsApp. Okay.
All right.
Then you go to it at when you click on the the add image, then you'll go to where you save it on your
Okay.
computer.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have to save it to your computer first. So
Okay.
go to WhatsApp and click on download it to your computer, and you'd save it there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a blessed evening, everybody.
All right.
Good topic.
Carlton was following you. It's looking cool. See Carlton picture?
All right.
I think he was following you.
Wonderful.
Thank
He
you
has
so
all the
much.
things and the eyebrows. That's nice.
Sister Evelyn, thank you so much for coming and asking your question.
Thank you
Yes, ma'am.
for having me ask the question also.
Oh, anytime, anytime. You're welcome. You know,
Have a-
this is our business, this is our company, and we are here to help one another. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Brand Ambassador Nola, please unmute yourself and share us your excitement, or if you have any wrinkles or any question, please. We are here to serve you. Oh, where is she? Nola. Hopefully she'll come back.
I received the message to unmute again, and
Oh.
Nola disappeared.
Nola disappeared. Oh, hopefully she'll come back. Oh, here she comes. All right. Sister Nola, please unmute yourself. All right, before she gets back, does anyone have any question or any excitement to share about O-Connect? Something good? Are you guys excited, man? I know that Dr. Derek is. Dr. Derek is jumping and jumping and jumping. We started with 145, right? The first time, it was only 145. Then later on, it came to what? I believe 3,000 something, 4,000. But when it came to 2,000, I was in. I thank God. And now it's 20-something thousand. Are you guys kidding me? Man, raise your own hands up and share your excitement, please. Are you guys, don't you know that our CEO is watching? Raise your hands. Sorry. I am excited. I am. And our CEO knows I am excited. Call him and ask him. Oh, connect, Papa God. Dr. Derek, I know you used to scream and jump and jump and jump and jump. Oh, connect, oh, connect, oh, connect, oh, connect. Now we are not going to use Zoom anymore. So you're excited, right? Amen, amen. Thank you, Jehovah. That's right. Now, we are still waiting for Nola, Sister Nola. That's why I'm running my mouth. But does anyone have anything? Do you guys want to share your excitement about our solutions? Remember now, we have migrated to the ecosystem, which comprises of all our solutions, right? We have what? The 3 on-pay solutions, and then the real one that we're waiting for is here. Watch. I don't see any hands raised. Jesus Christ. Yeah, all right.
Benny.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, man. Oh, you're dancing, but you are saying nothing.
No, hey. I see you are excited.
Man.
While we're waiting for Queen Nola to come back because she cannot unmute.
Thank you.
I just wanted to check with Dr. Derek because there's something else that he had to talk about today.
Oh, okay.
Are we still going to do that, or we're just going to continue with the hands and just for clarification purposes?
Okay. Yes, I tell you, yes, we can adjust to any situation. We don't put things in stone, and so we have to do this or we have to do that. That is the beauty about this this webinar. And so there is another Thursday, there's another Tuesday, there's many more Thursdays and Tuesdays. You know,
Awesome.
we're not, as from God's pure life, we're not going to run out of Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, you know, this topic was, I guess, what the people needed, what the brand ambassadors needed at a time like this. Because listen, we're still in February and it's all about the love.
Right.
It's all about the love. All right. And yes, I wouldn't mind some people talk about the love for Okanek also, and the love for Ash Mafari, and the love for all the tech team working. I never hear anybody work 24 hours straight. No.
I have people in my house who work 24 hours straight.
Straight?
Yes. Yes.
26 to?
Sometimes 30 hours.
30?
Yes. When the backup doesn't show up, she has to work straight. So
Oh, wow.
now you have heard of someone. It happens.
Oh, wow.
It happens.
Oh, mercy.
Anyway,
No,
that being said.
yeah, but I tell you, it is unusual.
Oh.
I think it is very unusual when people do that, and especially for a company that is not doing it for themselves, is doing it for others. It's even more awesome. I think Nola is back. So if we can take Nola, and yes, we can do the other presentation at another time, because this is what is needed today.
That I just want you to understand that, Dr. Derek, because this is from what I am experiencing and all our guests tonight. You know, we got up to 79 at its peak and we're 75. And my observation is that everybody enjoys what is going on. It's a learning curve and it's educational. It's soul searching. So instead of jumping away from it, we have to address this because that is why we're here to talk about it. So thank you for understanding and realizing that as well, because you created this for a reason on this forum. And if people want to talk about it, let's address it. Let's not shy away from it. Thank you. Very much appreciated. All right, Dr. Benny, I know you're working with Nola, Queen Nola. Yes, I'm muting myself and back to Dr. Benny.
I think she cannot really unmute herself because I tried to unmute her. I heard that she's using her cell phone, but if she cannot unmute herself, then I don't know what to do.
Dr. Derek can make her co-host.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Sister Nola, please unmute yourself.
That sounds like or looks like internet issues or phone issues. Nola, you are a co-host, so you can unmute yourself at will. Nola Pendergrass.
Do we know where she's calling in from, Dr. Derek?
I think it's the US, you know.
Huh.
I think it's the US. Not 100% surely remember. Hold on. I think I might have. Let me just double check.
I'm not seeing her on the list of.
Yeah, she's at the top left.
Oh, hand raised. Okay.
Let's look for you.
Uh,
Anyway, just to continue a little bit more with the discussion, you see, we are living in some terrible times where sin has become rampant. And yes, some people say that we are looking someone to blame, but no, we're not blaming anyone, because when people talk about Satan or the devil, we think it's someone to blame. But no, we are making the choices. And so, yes, you're going to say, well, oh, what choice does a little baby have that she made so that she died as a baby? Well, no, there's no choice on the behalf of that young child or baby, because the mind has not been developed as yet. But in love, God in his wisdom has to save some of us that way. Yes, it is brutal. Yes, it might be unkind in your estimation because you didn't get to enjoy your loved one as though you would like to enjoy your loved one. But God has to save some of us that way. Because what will live in the goal, you know, let me back up a little. Let me tell you the original goal. When we were created, the original goal is for us to live forever. That's the original goal. And watch this now. Hey! If Adam didn't sin, Cain didn't sin, all those persons coming right up in life didn't sin. None of us in this era didn't sin. First of all, Adam would still be alive. Noah and all of those persons will still be alive if no one sinned. All of them will still be alive. So, you know, and the beauty about it also, every one of us would be naked. Yes, I said it. Every one of us would be naked. And we would not be ashamed. Because sin lifted the protective covering from us. Because we had the glory of God shining around us. Well, Adam and his wife had the glory of God shining around them. So they were naked. Genesis 2, they were naked, but they were not ashamed. But as they did wrong, they were naked still, but they were ashamed. And immediately they went and hide and cover themselves. And that's why we are close today, because of sin. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing. So if there was no sin, none of us would have to be clothed in these garments. All of us would be naked. and we would be living forever. Because that is how God created our body. If we notice, if you get a cut, you don't put any band-aid, you don't put any Makura comb, you don't put any dressing, you don't put anything on it. Maybe just wash it off with some water so that it no germs. That cut will heal by itself. Because that's how God made our body, to take care of things. Self-sustainable. Just like the sun. The sun don't plug into anywhere. Everything is on a cycle. Sun don't plug into anywhere. It generates that heat and light by itself. Then you can ask a question, what hold all of these planets and stars and sun and all of that in the air? Is it a string? Is it a pole? No, it's God's love. God's love is holding up everything. It's love. Everything that you can think about comes back to love. And that is why everything was created. The day was created, the sun and moon, the stars, the earth, the grass, the field, the animals, everything was created. And then man was created. Prosperous. With everything to our luxury. No rent, no bills to pay. Everything was lavished on us. But we choose somebody else to run with. And so, all right, you know, choose me, and that's all right. Sweat off your brow, you eat bread. That's why now we have to be working for what we eat. Even if you steal it, you have to work. It's a work that you put in to get it. Other than that, before that, Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, they used to just walk and pick some big mango, big watermelon, and big this and big that, and blah, and bam, and never have to cook. There was no cooking happening when man was created. No cooking. Everything was fresh off the trees. And they ate. No bill to pay, no rent, no housing corporation, no nothing. And that is what God wants for us, to live like that forever. Live without pain. Live without suffering. Forever. That's the end goal. And so that is what God is trying to bring us back to. The love as how He intended it, so that we can live for years, 100 years, 2,000 years, 1,000,000 years, 10 million years. Can you imagine? Without pain. Without needing a Bugatti or a Lamborghini. Because why? Hey! We're traveling at warp speed with our angels to our next planet. Because now we are not quarantined. We are not confined to this little space, little dot, little spot in the universe. Not confined. Because watch this. When we go to school, we learn that the sun is 93 million miles from the earth. That's what we learn. That's far. That's very far. Hey, that's very, very far. But that's nothing compared to the distance from here to Pluto. Well, we can't even use Pluto again. That's nothing to compare. And then that's nothing to compare to the nearest, I should say the second nearest star, because the sun is really considered a star. All right, for those who into that study, scientific studies. The sun is also considered a star because it gives off its own light. And so the second nearest star to our solar system, or well, I should say the nearest star to the solar system, because the sun is in the solar system. So the nearest star into the solar system is so far a star that they call Alpha Centauri. And now we cannot even measure that by source or miles anymore, because it's so far that we have to start use light years. It's so many light years away. Then you ask, what is 1 light year? 1 light year, you have to calculate that by how fast does light travel. And for those of us who know that light travels at the speed of 186,282 miles per second. So in 1 second, light has already traveled 182,282 miles. So you have to now multiply that to get just 1 light year. Just one. You have to now multiply 360 days. Well, let me take it from the second. Let me take it from the second. You have to multiply that 186,282 times 60. Because 60 seconds, 1 minute. Then you multiply that, after you get that, you work out that. You multiply that now by another 60. Because 60 minutes make 1 hour. Then you have to multiply that now just to get 1 light year, you know. Just to get 1 light year. You have to now multiply that 60, the second 60, after you work out that result. Right? You have to now multiply that by 24. Because 24 hours make 1 day. Then after you get that result, then now you can multiply that result by 360. Then you get the final of 1 light year. So we are just a speck in the universe, just a speck. Just a speck. Ears have not heard and eyes have not seen what is out there. And if you want to know, be faithful in love. Faithful in love to God and faithful in love to our fellow men. That's the key, you know. That's it, you know. That's it. Faithful in love for God and faithful of love in love with our fellow human beings. That's all.
Brother Derek, before I go, I have a question for you. I'd like to take you on a debate another day about the parallel universe that's existing, where there are...
The what again?
You said there are parallel universe, there are parallel worlds where sin has not polluted them. All right? That our world is polluted with sin, original sin from Adam and Eve. So that's the cause of the pollution. I understand that. But you see, there are other worlds in the galaxy that have not been polluted by sin. I'd like to take you up on that to get a deeper side of your position and where that's in the Bible or whatever esoteric philosophy you got that from. I would like to know. But for tonight, it's just good to listen to you.
You're just listening.
And I have to say good night, everybody, because I have an early appointment in the morning. It's really great to be here. I'll see you Thursday.
All right. But before you go,
yeah,
in lieu of that time to be spent, you need to read Hebrews 11.
I read it just while you are talking. As not you mentioned it, I went through it. I've studied that section, that Hebrew, and the book of Revelation, and I let me just leave it there. I don't see anything there that points to that. But again, I want to hear your side of it. I'm a theologian, so I see everything in terms of Bible theology. So that's why I want to get your take. All right, it will be a good time. We'll schedule a time that we can spend quality time to see what you're talking about.
All right. So did you read verse 3?
When it talks about faith.
Did you read verse 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll read it to you right now.
Okay. Well, it's only through faith.
Yes,
I can't tell you how, but it's through faith.
And that's what understand that the worlds were formed by the word of God. Yes, when you say let there be light, we know that, but we're not there. Like you said, we're not there, but we believe it through faith.
Beautiful.
So that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear.
Beautiful. So from once you understand that there are other worlds with beings. Now we don't know what type of beings. With beings, which means it is inhabited, because that's what a world is. A world is a planet that is inhabited. Now Mars is not a place that is inhabited. Venus is not a place that is inhabited. So they are not a world. When God talks about a world, he means a place that is inhabited. And from once you get that thought, that train of thought, then you just go to Job. When you go to Job 1, chapter 1, read Job chapter 1, and then you will see that the whole aspect of Job started out with this council that was called with all of the worlds come together in that council, which Adam was supposed to be the person who was given dominion of this earth.
That's true.
He did not go. Who went? Satan.
Why? I didn't see that.
All right, well, read it, man. Read it.
Job
1. Read it and then we talk.
All right. All right, we'll talk.
Yeah, man. Read it and then we talk.
God bless you.
It's
fascinating.
The word is fascinating.
It is, no doubt. All right. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. God bless you all.
You remember, I think it's verse 7. If you kind of focus a little more on, I think verse 7, where God asked Satan, where you come from? Where you come from? and he said something like up and down in the earth.
Yep.
Which
From going to and fro.
Which means
And from walking up and down on it.
Which what he's saying is that I may run things down there. It's not Adam, it's me run things down there. So it gives me the authority to be at this meeting.
Dr. Derek, that word was not the word of Adam and Eve.
Yes, sir, it was.
It's not. Because in Genesis 1:1, the Bible said, right, Barashit bara Elohim. In the beginning,
yes,
God created the world.
Yes.
Right? A full stop.
Yes.
And said the world was covered with darkness and said, let there be light.
Yes.
What was he talking about when he said Barashit bara Elohim? It wasn't the word of Adam. Like I said, let's find a day for us to take the Bible.
Definitely.
And go on. We'll talk.
Definitely. Great
to be here tonight.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
But yeah, the word is simple, you know. The word is simple because when Genesis 3 come into play, we have to understand that Genesis 3 was Adam giving up, so to speak, quote unquote, giving up his dominionship. And that is why God said to Adam, I will put, well, him said to both of them, I will put enmity between you and him. And this was the first prophetic statement that give us the peace of mind, or give the universe the peace of mind that, listen, someone is going to come to rescue all of us from the bondage of sin. Because remember, you know, Romans 3 or Romans 6 talk about the wages. The wages of sin is death. So really and truly, in other words, when Adam sinned, they should just die. That's it, basically. When you and I sin, we should just die. Because the wages of sin is death. But the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ. And so that is why he had to now come and die for us. So Jesus Christ died for me, because watch this now, and we need to take this personal. Because as I was saying earlier, if Adam and Eve didn't sin, nobody sinned, nobody did anything wrong, coming right through the passages of time, everybody was perfect, living right up until me. If I sin, he would have come and died for me. That's what it means. So the love that God offers is a personal, dedicated love for me. And that's how personal we to take it. Thank you. But yes, we'll talk in more depth.
All right. Thank
Go
you,
ahead,
Dr. Derek. Yes, please. Sister Evelyn Jenkins?
Yes.
Yes, you wanted Sister Nola. Is she beside you, please?
She's on the phone.
Okay. She can go ahead and talk, please.
Nola?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello,
please.
this is Nola. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Oh, great. Hallelujah. Oh, yes. I was wanted to commend the men that are on this line, and that they were saying truly and honestly how, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to Dr. T and Dr. Derek and everyone. Good evening. I'm so sorry for the not being able to get through, but I was just assigned today to study Ephesians and Colossians, which both chapters talks about the relationship between husband, wife, and family, and which is really what everybody was saying, covering. And I wanted to say that the men are it was very impressive to hear them being very honest as to how men truly are and the family, and the attack that's on the family by Satan by cutting the men off, and the rest will die. It's just awesome that they're very honest and open and knowledgeable about it. And they were, one gentleman that was married for 35 years. I want to say congratulations. And I do feel like this is where we need to really start with the family, and domestic violence has been a topic of mine. I'm working with children and insight and everything like that. And I know that a lot of our family the attack is spiritual, definitely spiritual. So this is wonderful to hear you guys covering it as the way you do. And I just really appreciate it, but I'm really kind of saddened that I can't really get through normally and talk, by unmuting the phone and all. I don't know why. And on my computer, I've tried to go onto the email and go through get Zoom on there, which I know that the computer has a broader line, so I thought I could do better, but it won't. I get this message saying this meeting is for authorized attendees only every time on my computer, and we've tried before to get around it, but it doesn't happen. So, but anyway, I'll cut it short, but I really feel very emotional about this topic that you're on, because it is an attack on humanity and the family. And I'm so glad to hear that the men here on this call have been very, very astute and understanding and truthful about how men are versus how God made, us different from each other, and how Dr. T went over the 12 things to look for looking for a mate. That was wonderful. And I think somebody added, which I thought about, another one about communication, or communicating. A partner you need to be able to communicate with a partner, because communication is key to all relationships, whether it be teacher to student, husband to wife, mother, parent to children. Communication, and I think that's something that we all lack, the ability in doing from, our families and our family situations. So I feel very, very emotional and very grateful. And also knowing how Mr. Mufara himself had a great mom, and a lot of his feelings and love for humanity came through the teaching of his mom, which relates to also, I think, President Jimmy Carter, who is in hospice now. And he also had a great mom who taught him, in the midst of living in Plains, Georgia, a little town in Georgia that was very racist, yet his mother helped him, taught him to not be that way, and how mothers, when the family is intact, and mother and husband is where he should be, mother and wife where she should be, as thus says the Lord, as it just says in Ephesians as well as Colossians. So it's so apparent that mothers, when the family, the husband and wife and everybody's in the place that God would have us be, that everything goes well. But of course, Satan gets into play, and this is what we have to do, studying that word and undoing it by doing these things that you're saying we should do on this call tonight. So I thank you very much for the opportunity to get that in. But I feel very sad that I can't, sorry that I can't just come in like in a normal way. So thank you very much. And I got a lot of understanding too from you guys from different from Jamaica and I'm African American Southern, and I've been exposed to New York in a church, Nigerian church for 16 years. And so I do have exposure to people from, Africa, Jamaica, and other countries in Africa, which has really helped me to understand what you all were talking about too. And it goes across all stratas, the domestic violence with that. And I would love to be on that plan for someone who's going to start something for shelter or something for women. I would like to contact that person. I can't remember their names, but I'll learn it later. Okay, maybe I can get it at another time when the communication is clearer. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I thank you very, very, very much. And it was very, very good lesson. Continuation study. And the word is always good.
All right. So get my number from Evelyn.
Okay.
And we'll set you in that direction.
Okay. And also, sir, I would appreciate if I do have WhatsApp, and if I could get the backing. I heard you say that you would send it to Evelyn, and I don't know how you have to do it individually. I would appreciate it as well.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So just get my number from Evelyn.
Good evening to everybody. I'm so sorry that it was such a hassle to get through. And thank you all for listening. I appreciate you all.
Okay. It was good having you.
Thank you. And thank you, Evelyn.
You're welcome.
All right. Goodbye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Thank you, Sister Nola, Sister Evelyn, for helping Sister Nola. That is what family is all about. Onpassive. That's it. All right. Okay. Queen Debbie, are you available? I think it's over now. Everything is done. No more hands raised.
Can we get the theme song played before we go, guys? I love the theme song.
Dr. Derry will do everything for you. You know that.
What is your theme song? Everybody have a different theme song,
I like the one that we are in it to win it.
Oh, you miss it then, man. That was played already.
I know.
You can't play it again.
I know. If there's nobody else asking for the other one, then we can play this one again. That theme song is a boss. It's a boss by itself. It's a boss.
Okay. All right. So Queen Debbie will bring the curtain down, and then we're going to do that song, and then we are Onpassive, and then we get into the after party. Go ahead.
Hello, brand ambassadors. Thank you so much for joining us today at Globally Changing Lives Deep Dive. It was an awesome evening. We appreciate all the presenters, each and every brand ambassador who made a comment, either in the chat or in person, or just by being here to listen to everybody who had an input on the topic for the day. We truly appreciate you, and we are all in it to win it. With Onpassive, all you can do is move forward as Onpassivians. We thank you for coming. Please join us again on this platform every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. EDT. And if anyone has any YouTube channel that they want to be subscribed to, kindly put it in the chat. And at this time of the day, this is the end of today's webinar, and we're transitioning from the official Onpassive webinar to after party. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Over to you, Dr. Derek.
Shining bright into the future, we rise high with one heart and revolution, lifting up humanity as we rise, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorns, we are the stars. Bringing hope, shining the light. We're a nation, we are rising with one love, with one hope, bringing solution, lifting up humanity. Let's rise high, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn, we are the stars.
Single, we gotta make some
Missed call from
Onpassive, the future of internet.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Praise God. Praise God.